Oh, oh my God. Sheesh. Sheesh. It's been too late to stop. I don't believe in you. What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? What it do? What it do? Happy Sunday. Sirski. What's popping? What's popping? What up, villain? What's good with y'all? How y'all doing? Let's pin the comment. Why can't I pin the comment? What up, E? Oh man. Trying to keep out this blue light, man. I missed y'all too. Okay. So we back in this thing. I'm ready. Right? I'm ready. I can't wait. I'm excited. I am excited. Yeah, we locked in though every Sunday. Y'all could come. We're gonna be in this thing. Kay in here. What up, Mel? Kay in this thing. Already seen her. Yes, Sirski. Mm-hmm. Glad to be back. I've been around just on the YouTube. Y'all go check out the YouTube page, man. Definitely go follow it. Y'all see it, the Public Offender 100. I'm over there daily. I'm on the YouTubes daily. I'm on my Zooms all the time. Men add values with an S. Tell me how, Brother Smooth. Thank you, Kendall. We did hit 50K the other day. That was good. I have not been getting rest. I'm not. Oh, Brother Smooth, you can't make it up. All right, man. You can watch from the comments. I got you. Nah, we don't want to do that. Any if you get muted, you definitely could come up. I don't know if you know that already, but you definitely can make your way up to the stage. Yes and no, it depends on what value though. Any value. What value do men bring? Would be the question. Hey, what's going on? Hold on. Hey Shay, hold on, give me a second. I messed up already. I ain't did it in a minute. I forgot what I needed to do. Okay. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
All right. I'm sick, so please excuse my voice.
You good?
Sorry. Lord, okay. I feel like it depends on what value you're talking about. If you're talking about like just basic value as a human being, then it really doesn't matter whether you're a human, you have that value. But I feel like it depends on what type of woman you are because I got married when I was 18. I'm 21 now.
Jesus.
My husband said that he saw value in me before we even got married, but people really did not notice me until after I showed everybody who my husband was. So it's like I had things to say. I had a business I was taking care of and stuff, but everybody just saw me as another single Black woman. Just
you weren't even a woman though. You like a child still. To me,
Yeah, sure.
you still like a, you know what I mean? Like 18, 19, 21 years old. You ain't even, your brain ain't even fully developed yet. What you mean?
Yeah, what are you talking to?
I'm saying, like, how old is your husband?
He's 23.
Okay. He's only 2 years older than you. Okay.
Technically a year because yeah,
A year and some months. Got you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you a little young. I mean, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, child isn't insulting. It's just the reality. I don't go by the laws, so I don't know why. What you want me to
I
say?
mean, if you're going by maturity, then I wouldn't consider myself a child.
Okay. I think 21 is a child. That's what I'm saying. In my mind, 18, 19, 20, I think that's like still like a child to me. But you know, like you're more, you know, you're developing, but you still got a good amount of development to go before, you know, your brain literally isn't even fully developed.
Okay, so wait, so you're talking about the developmental stages of biologically, or are you talking about maturity?
They coincide with one another. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, unless you're basing, I mean, you could say I'm mature for my age, but I don't know. What's good, Meta?
How's it going?
Going great, brother.
Well, let's see. We talk about men, nobody else. Ooh, I think, to be honest, I'm 30, living out of Miami, Florida. So when it comes to the dating market, I've definitely witnessed a lot. And one thing that I've noticed is that the average man loves the average woman, but the average woman does not value the average man. Like the average woman sees the average man as no value, you know, and like average person should be with an average person, and above average person should be with an above average person. I think that. But
wait, I just got a question for you. But that doesn't address my prompt though, because I don't think average women don't see value in men. But I'm asking if you're saying that the women don't see the value in the men, okay, that would prove what I'm saying to be more correct. So why don't women see value in men would be the question.
It depends on the type of woman. The modern woman has
the average woman you're talking about. The women you're talking about.
Yeah, the women I'm talking about, they don't see the value in the average man because they don't value average anything. They don't see themselves as average at all, even though they probably make average income, live an average lifestyle. And if she's with an average man, she's associated like, okay, I'm average. You know, like two people could be working the same job, making the same income, and the female version will look at that male version and call him broke.
Yeah. And you don't think that. So do we live in an equitable society? Are men and women treated equitably and equally in this society?
No.
Which one do you say, like, because you brought up money, who typically makes more money?
Depends.
No, who typically makes more money? On average, the average man, who makes more money, the average man or the average woman?
I would say the average man.
Okay. So if the average man makes more money than the average woman, and then a woman meets a man that makes the same amount of money as her, wouldn't that mean that he was not average? He was actually below average?
I see where you're taking it, but
no. That's what you said. I'm not taking it anywhere. I'm just literally just saying what you just said. And I'm just repeating it back to you and putting it in context to the topic, right? Because you keep talking about like average men and average women. And first of all, the average woman is better than the average man in so many ways, right? Like the average woman, like if you were, you're more likely to find the average woman is more educated than the average man.
That don't make you better.
Of course it does.
If you value education, sure. I know some.
Who doesn't value education? What dummies don't value education? Like, what are we talking about here?
What? Okay, cool. The people with education, value it the most? That's what it's.
I value education, sir. I don't have a college degree, and I value education. When you go to the doctor, do you want any old doctor? You probably do. Like the way you talking. When you go to the doctor, you just like if you walked in and there was a doctor who you could go to Dr. Sebi, or you can go to fucking, a doctor with a white coat on. Who you gonna go to?
Okay. I see where you're taking this. My whole thing was like,
no.
both work the same job, work the same hours.
Sir.
How is?
Sir, you're moving around because you don't say you see where I'm taking it. Just answer the question. The questions are relevant to what we're talking about right now. This is an exercise for you, not for me. I've already worked out the kinks in this. I'm saying, I'm trying to point out to you, I think a flaw in your logic. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not adding up. So you're saying the average man, like you're basically saying, and I could understand, I will agree with you, right? Like, just for the argument's sake, let's say I agree with you, right? The average woman doesn't value the average man. I'm with you. But I've been you still haven't answered why. Why doesn't she value the average man? Meaning, now you have to answer this question. What does the average man, what makes him valuable? That's what I'm saying.
And to answer your question, I guess I have to pinpoint and focus on when it comes to the culture, because I'm just speaking in reference to our culture. And what doesn't make him valuable is that the average Black man in African American culture, he doesn't probably make that much or have that much resources.
Why does this have to? This is about men and women. Why are you automatically trying to relegate this to a Black man or a Black woman? Like, that doesn't, like, don't do that.
To answer your questions about why, because
you're not answering my question though. I'm asking about men and women. You don't have to bring up Black people. We do not. For one day, let's leave Black women and Black men the fuck alone. Let's just talk about men and women. Is that okay? I think that's fair with this conversation, because I think women in general I think men in general don't really bring much value to women in general. So it doesn't have to be a black thing. So let's not do that. Let's just talk about it in general. Right?
Okay, cool. To continue where you left off and where you took it.
Yep.
The value that men bring women is like, I'm pretty sure you could talk to any old woman and the average woman, and their experience just walking and do normal errands and their day-to-day life experience would be different if they just had the presence of a brother or a man with them.
In what way?
People will talk to them differently through interactions. If they have to meet with a mechanic or they have to meet with a manager at X, Y, and Z. I've had my women in my family tell me, hey, I'm going to the grocery store, running errands, somebody do this, X, Y, and Z. When you come along, and this isn't for like from the same 2 or 3 women. This is from multiple women that I dated, family members, X, Y, and Z. It's a difference when it's a male presence around. Like, we add value.
But, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Who doesn't listen to women? Who needs another man, or who needs a man around when a woman is around so that they can value what the woman is saying?
It depends.
No, it doesn't depend. Be honest. It doesn't depend. We know it doesn't depend. Who is it?
It literally depends.
Sir, Meta, hold on, brother. Answer that question. It doesn't depend. It doesn't depend. Are you telling me that women don't listen to other women?
No, they don't.
That's a lie. Based on what? Women don't listen to other women. Huh?
No. It's yeah. You think the average woman, like, they live each other pick-me's, and like both parties don't listen to each other. Like,
no,
saying,
women
like,
listen
of how she gets treated.
No, women listen to other women. Women listen to men and women. What are you talking about? They listen. Women listen. In general, women listen to either gender, but women listen to other women for sure. Women don't even like us, bro. What are you talking about? What does it matter if I'm there with my wife? If my wife went to go talk to another, like a woman, a manager, or like you said, of some establishment, and I'm not there, and I'm there, they're not gonna fucking respect me more because I'm there. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't, if it's two women there, more than likely they'll work it out before, if I get involved, it probably ain't gonna never get worked out.
It depends on the other woman.
In general.
The other woman could be a bitch. The other woman could be
But man, hold on, brother. I like where you started, because you started with average. General.
Yes.
Let's stick with average in general. Let's not get specific now. We don't got to do that. You know what I'm saying? That derails the conversation. Okay. Let's stick to average in general. Right? So average men, average women, you're saying that the value that men bring is for a woman to tow a man around with her so that she gets respect from society. And I'm asking you, who is the only group of people that will respect you more for having a man with you or for being a man? What's up, Jazz?
One, that's not the words that I use.
That is what you said.
And two,
that is what you said.
No, I didn't say
okay, say it again.
A man around. I said, "Oh my."
Tell me, say the thing you said again.
Yo, that's not what I said, fam.
You don't know what you said?
I know exactly what I said.
Okay, then repeat it then. So maybe I missed it.
I told you about my personal experience and what I've heard other women have told me the difference in how they treat it and their experiences when I'm around. And they value that. So they ask me to do certain things with them. And me as a man, these are things I never noticed, but I'm like, oh, this is how there's a different experience walking the world as a woman. Certain interactions, the way people treat you. Okay, cool. Walking down the alley or X, Y, and Z or a gas station or interactions with customer service and stuff like that. It's different. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, noted. So that's just a different point of view.
So
that's one of the many ways that we can bring value.
So when I said, again, tell me how this is any different. So when I said that when I just reiterated what you said and just said that you essentially were saying that women get more respect when they bring men around, how was that any different than what you just said? You said when they go, because you gave examples. You said like when they got to go talk to a manager or when they got to go talk to a mechanic. Okay. So what does that mean? I'm not understanding. That's literally that's what you're saying. Like the mechanic is less likely to take advantage of them, correct? Because they have a man around, correct? You there? Your phone cut out. I don't know if you know that. Melted butter, what's up?
What up?
What's up?
I wanted to talk about this. I saw your recent video on the Joan kit, and I couldn't help but tell you that other.
Thanks, Tequila. Meta, are you there? Oh, well, we'll wait for him. He's muted. I didn't mute him. I think his maybe like service or something like that. Anyways, we'll wait. We'll see. We'll see what happens when he comes back. But yeah, that was okay. I got you. Yeah, that was that's pretty much what I heard though. Just so we clear. Oh man. Yeah, I got that. I don't think that men. I'm still waiting though. I'm still waiting for the men to tell me like what's the value that men bring to women. It can't just be that women need us so that other men don't take advantage of them. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't, like that can't be the only value men bring, that you need a man with you so that men respect you when you go to like establishments and stuff. I'm not understanding. But that doesn't add value, by the way. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think men understand. So if the point of that is this, if men don't respect women enough to listen to a woman and she needs a man there, then the value of men is decreased because of that significantly. Even if a man comes with her, that's not the actual cure to that problem, right? That's you know what I'm saying? Like it's not they don't need a man to come with them. They need for men to stop not treating them like human beings, right? Like that's the cure. Therefore, now we're still at a net negative because even if a man comes around, it doesn't mean that they're going to listen to them, but maybe they listen to him a little bit more, whatever the case may be. But B, we are still the root cause of that problem. So we can't be the cause and the cure and then deem ourselves valuable. That's what Donald Trump be doing. You can't create a problem and then like solve it a little bit or whatever or address it somewhat. I won't say solve it, but put a Band-Aid over it and then say, see, I'm valuable. Like what? What are you talking about? That's like literally the relationship I would assume like of an abuser, like an abusive person. You know what I mean? Are you back? Okay, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, apologies.
No, you good, man.
Troubleshoot a vehicle for somebody.
You good.
So are you're saying like the average experience, basically you're saying that, and I just heard what you said.
Mm-hmm.
It basically nullifies itself if the man has to bring himself along to protect her from other men.
Yeah, like imagine men are all, imagine every man is one man in this case, right? Every man is, because we're talking about men as a group. So every man is one man, right? So in that same man, he is the problem because he won't listen to the woman, right? He doesn't respect her. And then simultaneously, he's the cure because if he's there, then he'll listen to himself. Like, how are you of value then? Like you didn't, you know what I mean? Like you literally, there's no value there whatsoever. Because all you would have to do is listen to the woman and the value goes away. But like the things that women do for men and for society in general, whether like they don't create the problem exists and they address it. So they're valuable. They're a net, like everything they do is a net positive because they're not the root cause of any societal issue. Right? But men are at the root cause of almost every societal issue outside of the ones created by, that have something to do with like nature, I would say. Men are at the root of every societal issue. So whatever problems we would address, we still wouldn't be valuable as a group because we're the cause. You know what I'm saying? Like women are the cure, men are the cause, but men can't be the cause and the cure. You see what I'm saying? Like it don't add up.
I hear you.
Like cancer don't kill cancer.
Holistically, I see what you're talking about.
Like,
I just believe that I believe it's both 50-50. I believe in duality. And
why?
Yes.
Why do you believe in duality? In certain things, I believe in duality, but not in everything.
I believe that's how God created the earth. Night, day, hot, cold. There's male, female. There's balance to everything. You're right. There's a lot of. I remember the other day there was a conversation about men are like 80%, the criminals and like crimes and stuff like that. You know, and I'm like, okay, cool, that stat may be right. You know, and it is what it is. But I believe it's like that because of testosterone. Because I've seen women put their hands on people slapping each other, but because they're not strong, it doesn't hurt, so it doesn't get that escalated.
That's not true. A, that's not true. And B, how much has our testosterone, has the male testosterone rate increased, decreased, or stayed the same in the last 50 years?
I mean, it decreased, but it still exists.
Okay. So wait, so it decreased. And are we more less violent, or the same amount, or the same violent, the same, or are we just as violent as we were 50 years ago?
I think that the average man is less violent, but there's a lot of YNs going around. So
okay, so you think the average man is less violent, even though there's well, yeah, you may be right. I don't know. You may actually be right about that. Because our numbers, our population has increased, but I don't think violence has decreased. I know, as a matter of fact, it hasn't decreased. I'm sorry, it's gone up. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Violence has gone up over the last 50 years. Rita said only violence against women. Yeah. So, certain acts of violence have increased. Like I was thinking, like, pew deaths and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like that has increased, but the rates of violence probably overall have decreased. So if testosterone,
the cases definitely went down, but stupid, ignorant gun violence went up all time high.
Yeah. So is that tied to our testosterone, or?
I think it's tied to, because it's not just when it comes to pulling the trigger, male or female, but I think that hold up. I think it's definitely tied to, when it comes to physical altercations and like fights and like, I think it's tied to testosterone.
You said what?
I think it plays a valuable part.
Yeah, okay. So you think that the reason why men were more violent 50 years ago was because of testosterone? They had more testosterone?
Yeah.
Okay. So what else was happening 50 years ago and prior to that in this country? Like what, like just generally speaking, what was going on in this country 50, 60 years ago? What was happening? Oh. Yeah, Scorpio. Violence against women. That's what Rita was saying too. Yeah, he clocked in. Yeah, he is saying testosterone. Testosterone equals violence, but it doesn't. Yeah, working out. Also, like Jim Crow was popping off, and black people was being, you know what I'm saying? We was being like lynched, and we were brutalized back in those days, way more. So are we connecting that to testosterone? Are we saying like the reason why like the reason why Jim Crow was going on was because the white men had like high testosterone rates? Like, no, motherfucker, they was getting money. It was all about the money. It was all about the control. It was all about the resources. That's what it's always been about. Like, what are we, you know what I'm saying? And as far as I know, aren't black men like the most, I'm saying, and I'm not even saying this scientifically. I'm saying this is what men, especially black men, this is what we love to think, that black men are the most, what's it called? We're hyper masculine, right? So if we're hyper masculine, doesn't that mean that we would have the most testosterone? And if we have the most testosterone, wouldn't that mean we're the most violent? But the numbers would say otherwise. Wouldn't that say that we, you know what I'm saying? Like, and why don't we dominate white men if we got the most testosterone? Why aren't we, why haven't we, you know what I'm saying? Like, that argument never makes sense. Like, scientifically, it never makes sense. Because once you start breaking it down upon racial lines, it blows up instantly. I'm like, okay, so who has the most testosterone? Are we just saying that white men have the most testosterone and that's why that's why they're dominant and that's why they're extra violent? Is that what you're going to excuse the behaviors of the slavers and, you know what I'm saying, of the oppressors? You're going to say, oh, it's because they had more testosterone than black men. That's what we're doing. That, because and ultimately that's what I'm saying. Like, ultimately, that's what we have to do. We have to, the logic has to apply. It has to be applicable for everything. Testosterone has to be the reason for everything. It can't just be the reason for why women aren't as violent as men. It has to be for why are white people dominating black? Why are white people more violent? And that, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, that has to be, it has to apply to everything if it's scientific. And I don't think it would actually show that. I don't think it would say that white men have more testosterone than black men. I don't think that. I haven't looked at a study that broke it down racially. If there is a study out there that has broken it down racially, then fine. Also, I think it's impossible to break it down racially because the diversity that exists within the black diaspora, we know, is vast. I mean, it's you know what I'm saying? We're the most diverse group of people on the planet. So I'm sure there are black men who have, you know, little to no testosterone, you know what I'm saying? For men, low testosterone. There are black men who have crazy testosterone. You know what I'm saying? So how do we do that? Same thing for white people. I'm sure there's white, you know, Scandinavians, they might have less testosterone than Irish people. Like, I don't fucking know. Just, the logic never makes sense to me. It never makes sense. Jay Richard said, do black men have more estrogen than women then? I don't know. It's wild. I have no idea. No clue. It's all exactly. It's a cop out. It's always a cop out. I hate when y'all try to use pseudoscience to explain away why men are violent or why women are, you know, why they perform better, you know, whatever the case may be. Like, I'm very curious. Like, why, how are we getting there? How are we arriving at that? I thought the men's was running around here saying dairy. I thought y'all niggas was out here saying dairy. Talking about know your girth. I thought you sassy ass niggas was out here doing that shit, man. Where all the testosterone at? Damn. I ain't never in my life wished niggas had more testosterone than recently. When I saw y'all doing this on the internet, I said, oh yeah, nah. Hell no. Bring back Jim Crow. Cause I'm sick of it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you are. My apologies. I'm out.
I know, man. You good. What do I define as value? What do you define as value? They out here. Hey, you know what's funny? They're not even copying women. They copying gay men. Because gay men did all this shit. That's not even. That's not even. I thought that shit is. Oh man, men is really going out sad right now. It's a sad day, man. You got to stop defending this, man. Don't do it. I'm gonna say you the meta. I'm gonna say you the trouble. Don't defend this, man. It ain't worth it. Men don't even like other men. We ain't got to do it. We out here looking bad. We down bad right now. Niggas out here talking about dairy. It's a rap. It's a rap, baby.
Nah, I think that it's definitely an interesting time for sure, and it's a few bad apples definitely got
a few bad apples. A few bad apples, Meta. A few bad apples.
Yeah.
Be honest. It's most men. I mean, and when I say most, I'm talking, huh? What'd you say?
I said when it comes to like now with social media, like if you have a set preference on how you view the world or you view a certain group of people, you can consume that type of content like all day.
Yeah, I don't. You talking about the algorithm? Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really good at like seeing through the algorithms. Like I don't need, you know what I mean? Like the algorithm doesn't shape what I think about men or women.
Yeah, nah, my own personal life experience. You know, I love women. You know,
Do you?
I think. Yeah. I'm obsessed with women. I love.
I can believe you're obsessed with women. I don't know if you love them though. I'm not saying you don't, but I don't know if you do. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm telling you, I was raised by like single mom.
We all were. We all were.
For half my life, my dad just, you know, it is what it is. And then some time came back home, married her, you know, and then.
You know why I think you don't love women?
Why?
When men downplay what's going on and they try to say it's a few bad apples, that is like a red flag. So for an example, you're a white man, let's say, right? And we're talking about rape. No, fuck that. You're a cop. You're a cop, right? And we're talking about cops. You're talking about police brutality, right? And we're saying it's systemic. We're saying it ain't just a, you know, I'm saying it's the whole system. It ain't, you know, like you could think you're a decent cop, that's fine, but you know, we know that it is a systemic issue, right? That it's widespread, it's massive, it's almost everywhere. It's in every precinct and every officer has right? Cool. And then you're the officer up here talking about, nah, it's a few bad apples. So if I told you that if you were white and I told you I thought you were racist because you were defending police brutality against marginalized groups of people, would that be fair?
Yeah.
You're like invalidating the real world lived experiences and science and stats and, you know, history of marginalized groups of people. So I can easily surmise from that you don't actually love marginalized groups of people. Same thing with this. That's how I know you don't love women. And it's really that easy and that simple to clock it.
I think it's more complex than that. I think that in that scenario, that specific one with police and violence and shooting and killing, absolutely, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and it's two things can be true at the same time, you know. You can be mad and upset at the person, like, okay, not the right timing to have that opinion right now because it's like super hot, you know, that's what's trending. But we also like, you can't like, oh, this black kid got shot. You mean who? Trey 40, the one that's known for shooting people. Like,
But that's not what we're doing though. Again, you know, that's not the conversation we're having. You're doing the thing again. I didn't say anything. You couldn't even get that from what I was saying unless you're intentionally trying to obfuscate, right? So don't do that. I just said again, because I know you're a black man and I would hope you've had this conversation with people before about police brutality, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And you're against police brutality, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you a member of ACAB?
No, what's that?
All cops are bastards?
Nah.
No? Okay. So you don't think you don't think that it is a systemic problem? You think it's also just some bad apples in the police precincts?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Do you think that police brutality is systemic or do you think it is individualized?
I think it's systemic to understand.
Yes or no? This is really a yes or no question. Is it systemic or is it not systemic?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's close for you? That's odd. Yeah. But that tracks though. If you don't think that police brutality is systemic, then I could see why you would also think that like what's going on with men and women isn't systemic and you think that it's just a few bad apples. So that actually tracks. If you think it's close, if you have to go, well, I mean, kind of like with the police, you don't think it's systemic? That tracks. That tracks. Usually misogyny and anti-blackness all go hand in hand. They be They be singing together in this motherfucker, just locking hands, lock step, lock and step. So I get it. But yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, man. And the reason why it's all men until it's no men is because it is systemic. That's the real, like, that's the crux of that slogan. It's all men till it's no men because it's systemic. If it's not systemic, then it can't be all men, then it's individualized, right? But if it's systemic, then it's all men because all men are in the system and a part of the system and so on and so forth. Therefore, it's all men, right? Until the system changes. Until we uproot the system. Yeah, it's all men until it's no men, aka it's all men until we destroy the system and dismantle the system that is the patriarchy. That's basically what the saying, if you wanted to extrapolate it, that's what it is. That's the meaning of it. You know what I'm saying? That's why you can say it and it actually makes sense to people that understand what it means. Yeah, so exactly, Serene. Because all the men uphold the system, you know, all men have benefited from the system, all men participate in the system on some level, therefore it's all men until it's no men. That's the crux of that statement. So NFL answered it. What did NFL do? Oh, you mean the NFL? Okay, I got you. Deion Sanders didn't see that one coming. Yeah, man, they did Deion and them wrong. But anybody else, yes, absolutely. I don't know. I don't know if my mom's in here. Make sure y'all invite any peoples up in the comments if they comment. He not talking right now, y'all. Lefty Linda, he not saying that. Them men like Pudges do better when it comes to women. It is what it is. The few men will get it, a lot won't. Yeah. Yeah, you just do what you could do. You know what I'm saying? Like as a man, like you just do what you can do. You know what I'm saying? But like you don't have to like try to like otherize yourself or like, you know, oh, I'm a safe space and all that. It's all men until it's no man. It's fine. Until we dismantle the system, I'm good with it. It is what it is. It is what it is. But the system ain't changed though. The system's still standing strong. The system's still standing strong.
No, I literally chill out.
That was in your whip. You hopped up in there with that glow on. That shit hard, nigga.
Yeah, glow. I thought it was glow.
Glow hard.
Glow got flow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I fought with glow. She top 3 female rappers.
I think she had the top. She had the top. I got her top 3 rappers right now. It ain't 3 dudes I want to hear over Glow right now. Kendrick. That's it. Kendrick, Glow, and they're really the only 2 people I really be wanting to hear when they be making new shit. Like consistently, like, nah, not Drake. Kendrick and Glow, the only 2. Oh, Doechii, yeah. Doechii type. Yeah, Doechii type. I heard Meg new stuff. It ain't really. I don't know what happened, man. But Glow got the glow with her right now. She got the juice. Yeah, I heard it. I was on the live when she was like, it's my single coming out in 30 minutes. I was in that motherfucker. I like Meg and Sexy. Right now, I think Glow got the glow. Go ahead, brother. We listening though.
Cool. But nah, I love women now. Like I love women. I think that.
Why do you have to say that?
My whole.
Why do you have to say that?
You don't think I do?
No, I know, but because you said that initially. I just responded to you saying that.
Yeah, because you brought it up earlier. Like, I don't think you. I said I love women, and you was like, I don't think you do.
I know. Yeah.
Because of.
Yeah. So why did you again? You didn't answer my question. Why do you think you need to tell me you love women? Because I didn't say you didn't love women before you said I love women. See what I'm saying?
You said you like women.
Nope, I didn't say that. You brought that up all on your own. You said, I love women. And I was like, that was an odd statement to make. And that's when I said, I don't think you do. There was many red flags, but I gave you my biggest red flag because you're literally downplaying their real world, lived experiences right now by saying it's like not systemic and it's some men and it's just bad apples and all of that stuff. When it actually isn't, is widespread. It's a pandemic of oppression. But you're downplaying it. So that led me to believe that you actually don't like women.
How am I downplaying it?
I just told you how, because you're literally saying that it's not. You're saying that it's not systemic. That is downplaying it. You're saying it's just a few bad apples. That's downplaying it. When it's the vast majority of men, and then you say it's just a few bad apples, that is the definition of downplaying something.
It's the vast majority of men that have no value to women.
The vast majority of men harm women, but yeah, the vast majority of men add no value to women's lives, and men as a group add no value to women's lives. You still haven't told me how men add value. Huh?
I mean,
you didn't give me a good example. I'll give you a great example. Okay, let's do this. I'll try this with you. How do women add value to men's lives? And I don't mean like necessarily a service, right? Even though you could do that. But how do they add value to men's lives?
Let's see. Caring.
They're caring. Okay. They're nurturing. Yep. Just stop right there. You can just end it right there. Do you see that the two things you named, very important, pretty much the basis of all life is women nurturing their children and even their men and boys or whatever. But then when I asked you, how do men add value to women's lives? The example you gave me linked back to a problem that men created.
Protection?
Yeah. Protection from who?
Everything outside. What are you talking about?
Nope. Women don't need our protection from everything outside. Who is the most likely person to harm a woman? Like by far, not even close. I'll give you it's multiple choice. The most likely person or thing to harm a woman. A car accident, a bear, a man, or an alien invasion or alien abduction. What's the most likely thing to happen to a woman? A man attacking them, a bear attacking them, them being abducted by an alien, or a car crash. What is the most likely thing to happen by far? Or attacked by a woman, and I'll throw attacked by a woman in there.
Women more than any situation would do.
Yeah. What is the most likely scenario?
By far.
You said what? Say it again.
I guess.
Say it again. I missed it. What did you say?
In my personal life, it's been protecting women from other women.
But that's a lie. First of all, hold on, meta. Meta. That's a lie. You and I know it. Secondly, I'm gonna call cap on you is, again, I'm talking about in general, and you purposefully tried to say in your life because you were about to lie, right? So this is how you set up the lie. You know the answer to the question is men, clearly. So instead of you just answering the question honestly, you try to figure out a way to get out of it, this is all weird to me. Just for an example, this is crazy that you would do all of this, right? So instead of you answering the question honestly and saying men, which was the right answer by far, everybody knew unequivocally it was men. You said, "Oh, in my personal life." So boom, right there. Now you relegated it to your personal life in hopes of, if I say my personal life, how can somebody call cap on my personal life? Because then all I'm going to say is You don't know me. You haven't experienced my personal life, to which you're correct, right? To that, I agree with that. But that still doesn't mean that what you're saying isn't a fucking lie. Because I know what you're saying is a lie. You know what you're saying is a lie. And you still haven't answered my question. So can we ask it again? I'll ask it one more time. What is the most likely situation? What is the most likely thing to happen to a woman? A bear attack, a car crash, a man attack, a woman attack, or an alien abduction?
May I get my complete thought out?
Of course.
Thank you. What I was saying before, I said, this is going to sound crazy.
It sounds crazy because you know it's a lie.
Preference. In the majority of situations, or probably
yeah, it sounded crazy because you know it's a lie.
I just gave.
Yeah. When somebody says, I know this sounds crazy, like 99% of the time, a lie is going to ensue. But again, you haven't answered my question. I've asked the question directly 3 times now. You haven't answered it. It is a multiple choice question. No elaboration needed.
It's just something different.
No, it's not different. It's a lie. I don't want to lie.
What's the last thing I said? What was the last thing I said?
When you lied, you said that in your life that you broke up more, you saved more women from violence against other women. And I said, that's a lie. And then I went back to the question and I asked you the question again, and you still haven't answered the question. You're doing everything but answering the question. I'm not understanding why you won't just answer the question.
I said something after that.
Sir, in all honesty, I don't even care at this point.
I said something after that.
I got you. But Meta, can you answer my question? I hear you. But was the thing you said? You answered it? Okay, what'd you say after that? Because I didn't hear it. Your phone's cutting out, just so you know. We can barely hear you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll chop it up to the phone cut now.
Yeah.
But I was like, the situation has been women, but I don't know majority or not, it's probably a guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear that part.
It's probably a man.
Okay. So more than likely it's a man. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So does it make, again, we're going to use the same scenario before.
Mm-hmm.
If men are the most likely people to harm women, can we be the protectors when we are also most likely to be the predators?
Yes.
How?
Because if I have a daughter, I'm going to protect her from other men.
That doesn't answer my question. Again, if men are most likely to be the predators, then how can we also be the protectors? You don't see how that's a conflict?
I think I see what you're talking about,
mm-hmm.
And I would have to submit to the thought that a man is only a sword and not a sword and a shield, and it depends on the man or where that man's at. If he's just all men are swords, absolutely, she can protect herself with a sword. But a father, which is a man, being a shield for his family to protect against other swords.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Not you, but any man has a daughter. What man is most likely to harm that daughter? Her father, her teacher, a priest, a coach, or a random man on the street?
Most likely,
mm-hmm.
Some of these football coaches be weird.
Why would a girl be playing football?
Coaches. My bad. I misspoke.
Okay.
Coaches, the high school basketball coaches.
Yeah, but do you see I'm asking you a direct question? All I want you to do is answer the question. Is it coaches? Just say coaches. The poll said, is he safe, y'all? 0% said, yeah, maybe. 100% said, fuck no. Uh-huh. Okay, but can you answer that question though? Is it coaches? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's coaches. Okay. So do most girls play sports? Like organized.
Preference. In that case, I'm thinking about my life. Yeah, in that case, the average person. My bad. Yeah, average person, the average Joe.
So a random guy on the street would be the person most likely to harm your daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. So what if I told you that that's like the last person you have to worry about is a random person on the street? Just FYI. Statistically proven. It wouldn't be a stranger. It would be somebody. It would start with her father, then it would branch out from there. So if she had brother, it would be a man though, but it would start with her father, then it would be her brother, then it would be her uncle, then it would be her male cousins, then it would be her teacher, then it would be her you know what I'm saying? It would be the men who are in closest proximity to her that is most likely to harm her. The men specifically. So again, you can't be, as a group, I'm saying we can't be the protectors and be the predators. That doesn't make sense. That's a conflict of interest. Like it doesn't, it's an oxymoron. It makes zero sense. So men aren't the protectors, we're the predators. We know that. Women are protectors. Women are the protectors because they're not the predators and they do protect. And they're more likely to protect.
And again, here's a little, backstory. I'm traditional Southern Georgia, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. That's irrelevant.
Because you said women are protectors.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you grow up. Women are the protectors. I don't care where you grew up. It doesn't matter what corner of the planet you're on. Women are the protectors, not men. Doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. Valid. I'm going to just agree with whatever you said. I would like for your honest answer, and the women in this chat, the input of if you even care to be with a man, you're in a scenario where you have a family, everything's beautiful home scenario, man of the house, kids, or it's just you and the man of the house. Typically, on average, if somebody's breaking in downstairs, the average woman is not jumping up to go downstairs. It's the average man that's going to go and protect.
That is a made-up scenario. There's no scientific data whatsoever to support that, and that argument is dumb. Both parties will more than likely get up and fight. To be honest, if it was life or death, me and my wife was just laughing about that the other day. We were like, no. I was talking to my friend, and she was talking about how some dude like knocked on her door like late at night or something like that, and her and her husband woke up and was standing by the door like Malcolm X with the shot. So I don't know what you're talking about. That's made up. That shit didn't say. But again, my question then will go right back to but look, brother, but in your scenario, what I say would still stand, right? So let's go back. Let's do it again. Okay. So a man is the most likely to get up in the middle of the night and go check on the thud, right? Okay, fine. Who is most likely to be the intruder? A man or a woman?
Probably a man.
Okay. Again, so it cancels each other out. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can't get out of this logic. I've done this exercise 1,000 times. It plays out the same way every time. Men are not protectors. We're not.
I consider myself.
You can. You can call yourself a protector if you want to.
And I've protected the women in my family.
Sure. I'm sure you've hurt many women too. You're hurting women right now. So I know you hurt women in real life. You're literally hurting women online right now. Like your online presence, like in this moment, you are actively harming women right now with your rhetoric in this moment. Just so you know. So when you say I protect women in real life, but then you get online and do the opposite, I don't believe you personally. Right? Now, I know that most men, I know a lot of men will definitely protect a woman close to him. But usually that's rooted in his own ego. That's because he feels like when a man, like if you with your woman and a man tries to approach your woman with you standing right there, you're not really feeling like I need to protect her, because I've seen so many times, and me included, you know what? I won't even include other men in this. I'll throw myself under the bus. I've been in so many situations where I was on 10, where I was turned up, where I slapped the motherfucker because he said something to my lady. And my woman was like, what the fuck? Calm down. And I'm still ready to go. So obviously I ain't protecting her. She don't even need it. She not even tripping. She like, let's go. But I'm still on 10. So I've seen that play out night after night after night after night. Many scenarios I done seen with men in public wilding on somebody. And it wasn't about the woman. It was about him. It was about his own ego. His own ego got in the way. So I don't really like even when men say they protect women or I'm like, yeah, you protect the women that are close to you because you feel like it's a sign of disrespect if a man trespasses against you. Not if they disrespect that woman, because you wouldn't protect another. You wouldn't protect a woman. You wouldn't protect an ugly woman. You wouldn't protect an old woman. You know what I'm saying? That ain't your grandma or whatever. You don't give a fuck about old, ugly, fat women. You only care about skinny, attractive, young women that you can hunch on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what dude, there's literally a video of a 50-year-old woman drowning surrounded by men at a public pool. That's how invisible women are to men once they become unattractive to men. Literally, she was drowning in a pool, in a public pool. All the lights was on. It was men swimming around her, walking past her on a phone. So you can't tell me, man, that's that shit would never happen. A man would never drown surrounded by women. Never. It would never I guarantee, I promise you with everything, it would never happen. It would, if you were drowning in a pool and it was 6 women around you, you wouldn't drown. They would save you. Men, on the other hand, oh, she ugly, she old. If that woman was 25 years old, they would have saved her. They'd have noticed it. I guarantee you. If she was 25 years old, thinner, they would have saved her. They didn't look at her because she was overweight, because she was 50 years old, whatever it was, she was unattractive to them, and that's why they didn't save her.
I think, again, there's some validity to that. I just don't move that way.
Okay.
You know, I
but you do move that way, though.
You know, and I have to come out of myself, out of my thought process, and I want to. How?
I just told you, you're doing it right now. You're literally doing it right now, like actively right now.
Perfect. Thank you. You brought it up right now. And that's what I wanted to, you know. I think that, one, if I am hurting someone, I apologize. You know, I think that the average man, more or less, wouldn't even take the time to have this conversation. I would love to hear more of the woman point of view. You know,
why?
I know you're the host in this.
What do you want to hear from women? I'll bring a woman up. I'll bring a woman up right now. You can talk to a woman right now. I'm good with that. I don't know why. I don't know what you want to hear from a woman, but it's 2 men having a conversation. I would figure it would be better with 2 men having this conversation. But if you want a woman to come up so you can talk to her, fine. If a woman wants to come up and you want to engage with Meta, by all means, come up. I 100%. That's fine with me. I don't care. Your favorite irritation said, have you seen the video of the security guard fighting a group of women and not a single man stepped in? Yes and no. I've seen many tapes like that, but I don't know which one are you talking about. Which one are you talking about specifically? Because I've seen many tapes like that.
I think that, and I've seen a lot of videos now with a lot of the guys standing around. I can't stand for that, but I've also heard conversations about, like, you know, a lot of guys are tired of, not me, but a lot of guys, they like when a guy's putting their life on the line for like random women.
That's never happened.
Subscribing to that.
When does that happen?
It used to happen in the older days. They don't
happen so much
now.
Well, says who?
What?
Where?
Back in the. What do you mean?
When?
Huh?
When were men laying down their lives for random women to save random? When? What era? When did that happen?
What do you? I've literally witnessed this most of the times growing up.
You just said back in the day. Wait, hold on. You young. So when you say back in the day, what are you talking about back in the day, sir?
I'm 29.
Okay, you're like I said, you're young. So what do you mean when you say back in the day?
Like when I was like 10, I remember.
So
like,
19 years ago, in the 2000s, right? Which is,
Yeah.
25 years, whatever. I get it. But in the 2000s, 19 years ago, so about 2005, 2006, men were laying down their lives for random women that they didn't know.
Yeah, I consider going out of my way to protect or include or separate or get a woman out of a situation is laying down your life. Because you don't know how that's going to escalate. I've been
In what situation?
It's been fights where weapons were drawn. It's mostly been like altercations or helping a woman out of a car accident. There was a truck that flipped over and a bunch of men came to help.
How are they risking their life?
Yeah, because the truck was on fire. It could have exploded. And there was a woman in the car and she was screaming like, help, 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 because she wasn't strong enough to get her grandmother out of the vehicle. And a bunch of random men. And it wasn't just like one race. Like Mexicans hopped
I believe it. Okay.
Mexicans hopped out of a lawn truck.
Yep.
So I've witnessed the camaraderie, and I'm saying like, I guess my personal preference and how I carry myself, and I guess my personal experiences, I can be blinded by that. So,
you definitely are blinded by that. Go ahead.
At the same.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish, Meta. Renegade came up here though, so I was gonna let you speak. Go ahead.
Cool. But that's why I come up here and talk, because I don't know what I don't know, and I'm willing to hear and like see more.
I appreciate it. Go ahead, Renegade.
I just want to say thank you, host, for letting me up. I've been watching your page for, I think, about a year.
Nice.
And I've always admired the way that you speak, your honesty, your patience, mostly, because I don't have that amount of patience. So I really do appreciate the things that you do.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it.
Meta, you did say that you wanted to speak to a woman. Hello, hi, I'm here. How are you? And I honestly think that there's just certain things that you're saying, and I can just tell, you know what? I do believe in the best in people. So when you're talking about how you do want to try and understand, I genuinely do believe you. But where your mindset is at right now, there's certain things that you're saying where I just know it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of you trying to question yourself and unlearn a lot of different things, because your mindset right now is in the average man wouldn't do certain things, but there are so many statistics that prove that the average man is actually the threat to women. Like, that is actually the average right now. So when you're willing to accept that women aren't just nagging and complaining and doing certain things just to get on men's back, or because we're not appreciative or we are entitled or whatever, and you actually hear us out, because thousands, millions of women can't be saying the same thing, and you just say, no, maybe you guys are the ones that got it wrong. Like, just open your ears a little bit and just try to listen to us and try to understand our actual experiences, the same way you would never want your experiences to be invalidated, the same way that this entire conversation you've been referring to your own personal experiences, because you know the magnitude that your personal experiences have and carry with you is the same way that I feel as though you should give that same patience and listening ear to women as well, because we talk about our experiences all the time, and this is real for us. Majority of men aren't actually threats to us. It's proven in so many statistics. It's proven in statistics when you talk about childhood, when you talk about relationships, when you talk about DV, when you talk about SA, when you talk about the ages of women, where by the age of 18, 4 out of 5 women would have experienced either SA or something along those lines, and unwanted interactions. So I do think that we do need to hold a little bit of more patience. Do you get what I mean? and just try to listen a little bit and be a bit open-minded so that you can learn and also unlearn.
Okay, appreciate your input. I'll definitely keep my mind, heart, and soul open and listening. What this life has shown me is that I'm not the average man.
Yes, you are. Without a doubt, you are. I don't know why you don't think you're the average man. This is you are very much the average man. I've had a lot of conversations with the average man. Liam, you getting muted for the live, brother. You can come up if you want to and get unmuted. Next time it will result in a block. But yeah, you definitely are the average man, brother. Like I ain't gonna even hold you.
So make it, because I'm a logical thinker, mathematical. If the average man is doing these things to women when it comes to physical, emotional, and these like horrendous things, and I've never done horrendous acts.
I didn't say the average man is doing horrendous acts,
but
the average man just has a general. The average man just has like a general like, they just don't care about women. You know what I'm saying? Just like generally speaking, that's just the approach that most men take. They just don't care about women, right? And I don't think you care about women. If you do, you don't care enough. I'm not gonna say you don't care at all, but you don't care enough. Because you're protecting, like right now in this moment, you're protecting the bad men that you claim to not be a part of.
What verbiage am I using?
By saying it's a few bad, I already told you, saying it's a few bad apples, by saying like, oh, I think men are protected. They protect women and not acknowledging that men are actually the predators. Yeah, even this whole idea, like when I said women were the protectors. So you say, you say that you were raised by a single mother. And here's the gag. Here's why I told you earlier. I was like, I don't care. Like, I hate when men do that. Like, I was raised by a single mother. I was like, that shit don't matter. No, you could be raised. You said what?
I said more after that.
I know, but I'm taking that part of it though. You being raised by a woman, because we all were raised by a woman, whether she was single or married, it don't matter. We were raised by a woman. No, I'm saying the vast majority of us. You could have a wife, you can have a girlfriend, you could be a boy dad, or you could know a girl dad or whatever. None of that matters. None of that matters. The most misogynistic men be having wives, they be having daughters, and they was raised by their mamas. Like that shit don't matter at all. That doesn't disqualify you from anything. You know what I'm saying? You are very much average in so many ways when it comes to this topic in particular. The way you downplay what's going on between men and women, the amount of times that you have lied, and you can say you didn't, but you lied several times in here. A good, see,
you got it.
That's that lie. Just it. Hey, brother, you know what? I get it. I could understand. I could wrap my brain around it, right? Like, and that's why I be trying to tell y'all, don't get on the lot. Don't come up here and just start lying. Like, there's no need to do that. Like, just be honest. Just have the conversation honestly and openly, right? But when you came up here and I was asking you them questions directly, and then you was like him and Han, it was well for me and all that shit. We didn't need none of that. Just answer the question. Men did it. Men do it more. But because so it tells me that you have an agenda because you know the answers to the questions I'm asking you. So instead of you just answering the questions, you always got to change it. You got to make it into something else. You got to just answer the question straight up. You know the answer to it. Who does it more? You say something like, at first it was, oh, I see where you're going with this. And then you would try to pivot. And I'll be like, no, back to the thing. And then that didn't work anymore for you. So then when I asked you the question directly, you would say, well, in my life, on my street, I was raised on Mulberry Street. So I don't know what's going on outside of Mulberry Street, even though I came up here talking about the average man and the average woman. Now I don't know nothing about the average man and average woman, and I can only speak about my specific circumstances.
Okay.
Right.
I see where I made my mistakes, and I can see where I can make my adjustments. And in my communication, majority of those times in those scenarios, you will cut me off. Then I will ask you, what did I say after that? I do a lot of like thinking out loud. And before I speak, like I listen, then I think, then I respond. So when I was responding and thinking, my thinking process was all like, okay, in my life, okay, well, in my life, I kind of X, Y, and Z. And then you would take that and either run with it, or it's just like, So I'll just take that as like, all right, I need to keep that inward. And also, there's been information that I wasn't aware of, different perspective, different, So I can take it all in. Ain't perfect, got more work to do, but I just want to make sure that one misunderstanding and one hiccup I am having is just for clarification. When I brought up the whole scenario, like, oh, that's not the couple bad apples. Mm-hmm. In that moment, it was realizing like, oh, they're telling me like this is the average scenario. And me realize like, oh, I'm not the average person. Like I don't think that way. I wouldn't do these things. I wouldn't do these.
That's not what it was about, sir. That's not what it was about. That's what I'm saying. Like you're still doing it right now. Like you're trying to gaslight me right now. Like in real time. You just won't let it go. You're not really taking accountability, right? Don't make up an excuse. Because when I asked you who is most likely to break into a house, what did that have to do with you? I wasn't saying would you break into the house. I was saying what group of people is most likely to break into a house.
I told you that.
No, I know. I'm saying those are the questions I was asking you though. So it wasn't about you. You were intentionally censoring yourself. I didn't censor you. You were intentionally saying, well, I wouldn't do that. And no, not the men I know. And on Mulberry Street, they would like you were doing that. And I said, I clocked it a long time ago. You were doing that intentionally so that you can say stuff like this. I know because you're average, because I've had this conversation with a ton of average men. They do the same thing every single time. I could write a script. I'm not playing. Like you think I'm playing? I'm swear to God, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm 1,000% serious. Everything you said today and the way you carried yourself today, without a doubt, has happened. You can go look on my lives and everything. You will see a bunch of dudes act just like you. You about to see it right now. Watch this. What up, C-Dave?
What up, bud?
Go ahead, brother. Yeah, you got something to say? Hey, Teresa said, drop C-Dave. You might as well pull up the article. Go ahead.
Might as well, man. Hey, your glass is fine, man. I give you compliments.
Thanks, man.
Man, so again, you say I'm gonna answer the problem.
Go ahead.
Men add no value to women's lives. That's good. All right, and I'll tell you why. So a couple of things that we do know that when women get into
when men get into relationships with women, what? The thing went off. What'd you say?
I said, well, so if we're talking about the value in relationships, we start there.
Okay.
Women get more financial security. Women actually do live longer. Women are more stable. Women are they have like a helpmate. All those things that come into it. So those
in what way?
That
in what way do men help? That's a helpmate is vague.
Sure. So help around the house, right? So the women, they portion up a lot of the chores. Typically what we see is, women would typically do more of the inside the house labor. Men typically do more of the outside and manual labor. So that's the labor that women typically don't have to do. So that's the part of the help that they do. Men do actually help with children, not to the extent of women. We all know that women do it more, but there is a sense where men do help with children. They help with chores. They help with cooking, cleaning, drilling. They help with all of these things. So these are all values that men bring, to relationships. Typically, especially if you're in a good relationship, emotional intelligence, you're more likely to be more fine with each other, in tune with each other. So all of these things that men bring to a relationship. Now, it also helps that these are healthy and relationships. So again, these are values that men bring.
Okay. So all our pretty much financial security,
yes,
was one, which isn't necessarily true. I think that if anything, that goes both ways, because when women who marry make less money than women who aren't married. You know what I mean? Like, so I would say it would actually take away from the financial security of women, statistically, like mathematically, it does. So I don't believe that. Also, men add like 7 hours. Men add like 7 hours more labor a week for women. So also, I don't believe that men help women around the house, because men are fucking up around the house more than they're helping. We help create the kids, but we don't help as much with the kids, which also means we add more labor for the woman. And you even said that. You said not as much. So there you go. So that's more labor for the woman that we've created. And I don't know what the hell you're talking about, emotional anything. Men are definitely, we don't add anything as far as like emotional value to a relationship. We don't stabilize women emotionally whatsoever. We dysregulate women, generally speaking. Women regulate us. We dysregulate women. Like when women go to sleep, like they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I read these studies about how like when men go to sleep next to a woman, his anxiety goes down. You know, when a man grabs a woman's breast, you know what I'm saying? Not like in public. I'm saying like with his woman's breast, and he lays down, he grabs a woman's breast, his anxiety goes down, his pressure is more relieved, all this stuff, right? I haven't seen that study for women. Like, oh, when a woman is the little spoon, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
That study exists. I mean,
I just never seen it before. It may exist. I don't know. I've never seen it.
When women fall asleep in the arms of a man, they feel their anxiety goes down. They feel more protected. They feel safer.
Based on what?
Based on studies. So, based on studies. So again, so if a woman has a man, right, especially one that she's trusting, she's living with, right, when she falls asleep with him, she feels safer, right? She feels
no, but now you're making it. But wait, see, Dave, you haven't, just be honest, you haven't read a study that said that. Now you're trying to logically explain it, right? Just be real. I'm not even gonna hold you. If you read a study, it is what it is. But I don't think you've ever read a study that said that women stress levels go down when they're being held by a man at night. I'd be honest with you. I've never seen that before. I would think it would be in the same study with the men rubbing on the breast, and I didn't see it in that study. So that's why I'm asking. Like where would that be? I would think it would both be in the same study.
No, not necessarily. It wouldn't necessarily be in the same study.
Okay, so you never read a study that said that. You're just assuming, right?
No, I read a study before.
Okay, now you read a study. Okay.
Yeah, I read a study.
Okay, so I'll let you keep going. Okay, you don't have to explain it to me logically, because I don't even care.
Right, no, you don't. So again, so that's what I'm talking about.
Why are you explaining it to me then? I wasn't trying to be rude. I'm saying like it was irrelevant. Like you trying to make it make sense. It's not going to make sense to me. See what I'm saying?
I know it's not going to make sense. That's what I said. I know it's not.
Then why would you don't know that? Then why would you explain? That's what?
I gave you my rules, because a lot of things don't make sense to you. You don't, nothing that you disagree with makes sense to you.
Duh.
Right. So again,
what the fuck? What are you saying right now? Like, duh. Yes, duh. That's everybody, sir.
That's not a dumb moment.
That is duh. That's everybody, sir. If you don't understand something, you're more than likely to dismiss it.
No, I said because you don't agree with it.
Nope, so that's not what you said. You said if I don't understand something.
I said no, you disagree with, or you say you don't understand anything that you disagree with. That's what was said. And you said duh. And I'm like, how is that a dumb moment?
Lord,
just
man.
You don't agree with something, just because you don't agree with something doesn't mean that you dismiss it, right? That's actually a sign of low intelligence.
Again, you're just making up stuff, but okay. Ashley said, fuck the police, C. Diddy. You still a dummy, bitch. I just started. Hold on, man. Yellow chick said $5 on C Dave. Damn. Oh, Chad dip. Damn, Chad, I wanted you to go. Jennifer said, oh, Jennifer, thank you. I appreciate you. Damn, C Dave. Let Yellow chick go real quick. Go ahead, Yellow chick.
Oh, yeah, I must ain't got long, huh?
I want Yellow chick to go ahead and
Hey y'all, hey family.
What up?
All right, so the other day on my live, we actually did a risk benefit analysis on having a man.
Oh,
So we did that together collectively, and I'd like to share the results with you if you would so
absolutely.
All right. So I will start with the benefits. There is a possible financial benefit.
Yep.
There can be a possible benefit of in-house dick if the dick is good.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, wait. Possible. Hold on, I'm writing either. Possible financial. And then SMEX.
Possible in-house dick if the dick is good.
Got you. Okay.
We had about 110, 120 people in the live.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're getting this from. Hopefully a yard worker, but that only matters if you have a yard.
Got you. So landscape. What would you? Because it won't just be landscaping. Like, would you just bundle all of that up? Like,
yeah, all of that.
Painting. What?
Picking up the leaves.
Yeah, got you. Okay. We'll just say landscaping.
You know what I mean?
Landscaper.
But then that only matters if you have
a yard. That.
So, like, if you have a condo or you live in the city,
mm-hmm.
that one doesn't really apply.
Got you.
Men also are good for opening jars.
Jar opener. Okay.
Jar opener.
But they got jar openers though that y'all could just.
I have one. I don't have a man, so I bought one of those things, and I have to do that myself because I don't have a man in the house.
So that don't. So that cancels.
The jar for myself.
Okay.
But I do.
Does that see? Because I would give you the landscaper because that's a fee that you got to pay like weekly or bi-weekly or monthly or whatever. So that'll save you some money. But buying a one-time jar opener, I feel like you can't. You know what I mean? Like it can't. It kind of cancel his needs. So you can't even say that.
Cancel it out.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna skip that one. We got financial, we got SMEX, and we got landscaper. Okay. All
right. Also, they tend to be more up on the car stuff.
Like oil changes, tire. Yep. Okay.
Stuff.
Car maintenance.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then if you want to have a child, they will donate the sperm to you for free.
Okay. Sperm donors. Got you.
Sperm donors. So those are the potential benefits. I'm now ready for the risks if everybody else is ready.
Okay, hold on. Let me get another. I got to get a longer piece of paper for this one. Hold on.
You do need a longer piece of paper.
Where my pad at? Oh, here we go. I got it. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, we have risk for domestic violence as well as
DV.
As well as being unalived. It can go that far.
DV.
It's a risk. It doesn't mean that every man does it. We're talking about risk.
It's risk, yeah. DV to femicide. DV. Yes. How about BV?
B. Yeah. Oh, we get to that one.
Oh, okay. I skipped ahead. My bad.
Yes, we have also loss of sleep.
Sleep deprivation. Okay.
Sleep deprivation. Because men have a way of seeing you have had a long day and you finally get away to resting, and then they want to whisper at the back of your ear and be like, "Babe, are you up?"
Mm-hmm.
And you clearly see that I am not.
Mm-hmm.
So loss of sleep.
Sleep deprivation. Okay.
We have increase of headaches for all types of varying reasons. Risk of getting emotionally attached to someone just to result in heartbreak.
Heartbreak, okay.
STI/STD.
Mm-hmm.
Increased stress. Now, this one kind of balances out the other one that's in the benefit, which is men can also be a financial risk. Many of women have been hustled out of their money by a man.
Are more men financially stable or less financially stable, do you think, in a relationship?
I'm going to be 100% fair and say I really cannot answer that one. I know that I think single women are more financially stable than single men. But once the relationship comes together, it's hard to tell which way it went. Like, did he step up because he has a woman? Or is it really the woman doing all that shit because she's there and making it look like it's him?
I think it's that.
And in all fairness, I don't want to answer that because I'm trying to be very, very, very fair.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know. So we got financial stress. Okay. Financial pressure.
Risk. Yes, risk.
Risk. Okay.
cheating.
Absolutely cheating.
Emotional abuse.
Emotional abuse. Can we? Because we don't want to itemize all the forms of abuse. We'll just say abuse. Emotion. Yeah, we'll just say emotional abuse altogether right now.
Yes,
right?
emotional abuse
Okay.
altogether. They are also a health risk. We actually have increased hypertension, diabetes, weight gain, and immunosuppressant diseases increase. And we know that is the man because those things then
they go away
when we get divorced.
Yep. Okay.
Sometimes with the immune diseases, not immunosuppressant, autoimmune. I'm sorry, it's autoimmune.
Yeah, autoimmune. I knew what you were saying.
Yeah, autoimmune diseases. Sometimes with the autoimmune disease, because you now have it, you can't get rid of it.
Like MS.
Decrease.
Yeah, like MS. You can't get rid of MS, but you could get it under control though. Yeah.
Exactly. Or like lupus is a great example.
Yep.
Okay. Then you also have the risk of becoming attached to somebody just for them to turn around and abandon you. That's not necessarily attached to cheating. It can just be abandonment.
We'll throw that on heartbreak though.
We can do that.
We'll just apply that to heartbreak. That sound like heartbreak to me. Okay.
Fair. Then you have loneliness inside the relationship.
Okay.
Which is a very different thing than loneliness outside of a relationship.
It's worse.
It is worse.
It's worse.
It is absolutely worse.
Yeah.
And there's another one that ties into it that's later on the list. Being controlled. We also have a risk of losing our hair.
Baldness.
You can put that underneath the health risk, but I feel like it's important enough to be highlighted on its own.
Yep. Loss of hair.
Also, this is my personal one that bothers me the most. Men have a way of eating your restaurant leftovers. Like you will go to the restaurant.
I got a better way of putting that one. Just being inconsiderate in general, because you could apply that to a lot of stuff that would be way beyond.
With the specific restaurant leftovers, I need you to understand how that
shit do be hitting though.
Okay, like you went out with your friends to the restaurant last night. You forgot to bring it with you to work, and the whole drive home, you're like, I got that what is it? Cheesecake Factory leftovers there. They're in the fridge. And then when you get there, it's not there. And you're like, what happened? And they're like, oh, babe, I thought that was for me. And you're like, yeah, but I put my name on it. And they were like, yeah, but you're my wife, so I thought it was the same.
It's like ours. Yeah. Like your last name is my last name. So it's like ours at that point. It's shared property.
I take personal offense to that one. Okay, so we've got an increase in the housework. Because men create more housework than they help with.
Yep. That's what I just told C Dave. Increase in housework. Give me one more and give me one more. Give me your best one.
I got 4 more. I'll go through them quickly.
Okay.
I'll go through them quickly. Eating the children's snacks.
Oh.
Marital essay.
You got me.
Falling in the toilet because they left the toilet seat up. Reproductive coercion and isolation from friends and family. That's it.
You got me on the snack monster. It took a you got me. Okay. That's me.
It is what it is.
That's me. Guilty as charged. Y'all be seeing me. That's what I'm saying. Y'all can't y'all done seen me drink a juice box. Y'all done seen me smash 2 Capri Suns on this motherfucker.
It wasn't meant to be personal.
I know, but I got hit. Then I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I got hit. That's cool.
That's it. That's my list. Thank you.
Does it count if I buy the snacks too? Or because they the kids' snacks, so they can't buy their own snacks?
So listen, it only if you're making sure to leave enough that the kid has some available. So if there's 10 snacks left and you eat 1 or 2, it's not a big deal. But if 2 snacks left and you ate the last two,
you an asshole. Yeah. You right.
Okay, that's all I got. Thank you.
Okay. Teresa said, Scott, that's all.
Lots of pregnancies as well. Lots of pregnancies because of stress, miscarriage.
Hold on, Renegade. Hold on. Let me read these real quick. Teresa said, Scott Etiol said, et al. I guess I don't know how to say that. The reduction in anxiety is confined to married men. Men do not reduce anxiety in wives. I told you to drop C Dave. He came up to lie. That's what I was saying. I was like, I've seen at least 2 articles with the sources cited in there on that, and neither one of them said anything about women feeling any type of relief of anxiety by being around a man. And that always made sense to me. I was like, why would a man ever relieve the stress of a woman when he is the fucking cause of the stress? That don't even make sense. Taya said, Tia said, first time in 10 years, I'm at risk of losing my house due to my husband's financial. Jesus Christ. First time in 10 years. So you still married to him? Damn. Y'all saying some positive vibes to Tia. Because whew, she said that man about to had him losing their house. Osa said, damn, these men are diabolical. This list proves it. Thanks, Osa. She said the audio sounds great. Yeah, we got the audio corrected today. Okay. Let BPG go, and I'm gonna open up the panel. Go ahead, BPG.
Outside. First of all, I love y'all. I love y'all lists. I love y'all lists.
She could have stopped at DV. She could have stopped at DV and femicide.
You know what I mean?
It was already over.
The entire list is null and void based on the fact that a lot of times, even when women enter into these sort of, they call them, what's the word for it? But these like sort of weird legally binding contracts with men, you can call it marriage, but that's not actually what it is. It's more of like a weird hybrid wrap agreement where as soon as you enter into it, you agree to all these other things that you didn't have any idea was in the fine print. And when they enter into these agreements, the things that they do are automatically assigned to them in a way that is completely beneficial to him and the children. But the things that are assigned to him, he can or cannot do. Like
yes.
If he skips mowing the lawn, a day, a couple weeks, there is no consequence. If he skips taking out the trash, or if he's not on top of the maintenance, like those things can be skipped, and there isn't as harsh a consequence for him as it is for her, because once she does not do those things sort of fall out of line, and the entire family is in disarray. And that's in a good situation. But in a really bad one, which there are many women who are in those really bad ones, not only does she pay for it, just like I think her name was Tia, she pays for it financially because she doesn't have the stability of her own independence and making her own income. So she's subject to whatever financial decisions he makes, and could be subject to anything as far as homelessness, or bodies getting cut off, water getting, whatever. But also he still reserves the right of being legally bound to her and being able to do pretty much all of the things that husbands legally can do. Like even when we talk about the enforcement of like laws against marital rape, and all of these things, we have to be honest about the fact that yes, on the books these things exist, but in reality, is there real support for those things? You know what I mean? Is he really protected from those things? So a lot of the things that you list that he does bring, they become null and void because of all of the things that comes with that. You know what I mean? Like she get her trash taken out, but the man is having non-consensual, sex with her. Yeah, she, gets an oil change every so often, but he completely leaves her in the dark about what's going on financially. Yeah, he may help with the kids ever so often, but she's only getting maybe 5 or 6 hours of sleep a night because she's trying to make sure she's up before everybody gets up, and she's going to sleep after everybody. So she's not actually, all of those benefits listed are valid benefits, but she doesn't ever actually have access to them.
Yep. You can respond if you would like to.
So the study he was talking about doesn't exist.
Yeah, we know that. See, dude.
I'm going to throw it out there that the in-house D is also temporary, because when day comes that the PP isn't working, you're not allowed to go get that elsewhere. So what you've actually done is isolated yourself to one PP for the rest of your life. And when the day comes that one no longer works, you're kind of like, okay, no longer have the in-house one, and I can't go out the house for another one either.
If you would like to respond, you can go ahead. See difficult.
Man, listen, look. So in the relationships, right, in marriage, it actually is proven that men actually, when they get married, work 30 to 40% more on their job than single men. So the burden of actually working more, to get that, women work less when they get married. Talking about job speaking. On average, men actually get less sleep than women when it comes to marriage.
We need less sleep. Men need less sleep than women.
What?
Yeah.
She just makes stuff up. All right.
I make up stuff?
Yeah.
Am I? Hold on, wait. Is anybody up here? Am I lying about that? Do men not need? Do women not need more sleep?
He is lying about men working more though.
How am I lying?
That's a lie.
In America,
And I'm not gonna say that I've read studies somewhere that said that. In the book by Gerda Lerner in The Creation of Patriarchy, and in Simone de Beauvoir's The Feminine Mystique, she talks about how women on average lose leisure time based on being married. Like men have more leisure time on the basis of solely being married, and women work more hours regularly because they are married. Invisible Women talks about that too.
Yes. Yep.
In the chapter about the myth of meritocracy.
That's a good book, man. Go ahead, C-Day. Because I like how you just you just look up like arbitrary stats and then
I don't know what books she's reading, but they full of shit. Just usual. She always brings up full of shit articles. Books that she's read.
Okay, I just go.
So again, when you look at it, on average, married men work on an average of 30 to 40 hours more than single men. They work more when they get married.
30 to 40 hours.
Sorry, per week.
30 to 40 hours more.
Women, no, wait. See, Dave, hold on. See, Dave. No, we don't know what you're talking about. 30, because you're not talking about per week. What do you mean? 30 to 40 hours when?
I'm sorry, 30 to 40% more.
Okay. Yeah, okay. There you go. All right, there you go. All right.
It says, so yes, married men work more hours than single men. Married men works between 30 to 40% more hours than a single man, and it's typically when they get into relationships. So they work more, they have less sleep when they get into relationships. So again, I don't know what book she's talking about, but they're lying, right? And this is a problem.
That doesn't disprove what she said.
See, Dave, I have a question about.
Oh no, wait. Let him. I want him to finish. Go ahead.
Okay. So mine's going. So this is this hold on, let me get y'all like it. So this is come from, it's the study called The Impact of Marriage on How Much Men Work. The impact of marriage on how much men work.
You have that pulled up. Can you read to us the limitations section?
The limitation section? What you mean? Ain't no limitation.
All studies have a limitation.
Well, I ain't look at the limitation. I don't know what limitation.
She wants you to look it up.
You say you have the study in front of you. You go towards the bottom of the study. It should have limitations on the study. So limitations on the study are going to be things like there was only 200 people studied. Or a limitation on a study like that could be something like they included men whose wives don't work at all. So if you have, and there is a higher percentage of families where the man works and the woman doesn't work than the woman works and the man doesn't work. So if you're including those men in the study, you're going to throw the entire thing off.
Wow. So even if you have a man that gets into a marriage with a woman who doesn't work, he still has to work more, right? In order to financially support another mouth to feed.
I just don't. I'll be honest with you, C. Dave. I don't. But wait, I don't like this conversation because women work more they do more labor in general than men at home. When you add up both, when you add up the hours that they work outside the home and inside the home, they do more labor than men. So what is the relevancy of this? You're comparing men to other men. It's irrelevant to this conversation, right? Women do more work compared to men in the home, and they do about the same amount of work compared to men outside the home, but they overall end up doing more labor than men in totality. And labor is labor is labor. So I don't give a fuck if a motherfucker work 40 hours a week or 45 hours a week outside the home. If he comes home and he's only doing 8 hours of labor, and a woman works 38 hours a week and she comes home and is doing 20 hours of labor, she does more labor than him. That's what I'm saying. So I don't understand the relevancy of what you like. You just sound like you're trying to do the thing you do and you convolute everything and just mix everything up and put it in a gumbo pot. Like, I don't want to do that. Stick. Go ahead.
Can I add the reason why he's doing that? And he does that because this is why I tell y'all all the time, y'all have to stop Googling stuff and trying to figure out how to win your argument and actually read. I know you don't like any of the books that I've offered. Some of them are by men, some of them are by women. All of them are relevant because they are peer reviewed. The conversation that he's talking about, the stat that he's using, is not a stat from an actual, that he's not getting that from statistical data. It's a transcript from a podcast. I'm literally looking at it right now. It's a transcript from a podcast. And the man that he's talking about who discusses, because this is what he just said, if you look at the raw data, married men tend to work 20 to 30% more hours than single men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so this man, this is a fun man. His name is John Bailey Jones. John Bailey Jones is, he's a vice president of microeconomic analysis in the research department for Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond. And if you go to his page, which is why it's always fun to do that research, he has all of his academic publications. And in his academic publications, he has another article. And the article is The Wage Penalty for Married Women of Career Interruptions, Evidence from the 1990s. And the goal of this paper is to assess how the wage penalty for career interruptions by married women changed between the 1970s and the 1990s, and how the wage penalty for career interruptions using the work history model and PSI data use several approaches to control various forms of endogeneity and selectional bias. So in this other article that he used, he also talks about how there's an increased interruption of career mobility for married women from 40% to 73% over the period of time that they are married.
So in essence, BPG, I'm just going to sum it up for C-Dave. Are you saying that when women get married, they lose a lot of money and access to money overall?
Yeah, which is also discussed in one of the books that I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what book that was, but we actually talked about this before when C-Dave said that I was lying, and we talked about how single women make over their lifetime nearly $500,000. I think the number was like somewhere between 400.
Oh yeah, they make way more money than married women.
Yeah. I can't remember which book it was, but how single women make over their lifetime, I think up till once they get to maybe the age, I think it was like 40 or 45, I'll say, they make almost $500,000 more than married women because of the fact that they are able to have that same level of career mobility, because they can continue to work because they aren't married and they aren't caring for families.
Yep. So, see, Dave, now I am very interested to hear your response to what she just said.
My response is still the same. So again,
is that not, hold on, wait. Is that not where you got your information from, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So in this moment right now, hold on, wait. See, Dave, in this moment, it's okay if you just concede and say you don't know what you're talking about. This would be one of those moments. Like, don't be weird. Like, I want to see if you can do it. If there is any part of any bit of humanity left in you, like you could be a real human right now. It's okay for you to just say, okay, yes, I did that, and that was wrong of me.
Okay, here's the thing. She didn't debunk the study.
It wasn't a study.
What she did was she went in and Googled the
That's what you did. No, see that, stop. No, because I just want you to admit what you just did.
Well, I'm not going to admit what I just did because I didn't do anything wrong.
You did. You didn't read a study. You just tried to pass. Oh, sir, you literally said this is a study. You just said this is you ain't about to lie to me. I heard what you said. You said this is a study. Studies show men work 30 to 40% more, or married men work 30, 40% more than single men. It isn't a study. You haven't read it. You heard a man say it was from a study, but you haven't read a study that says that. That's the point. So you can admit that right now. I've never read a study that said that. I literally just did the thing that BPG just clocked me for. I did. I just tried to do that right now. I do believe it's true. You can say that at the end of it. Fine. But you got to acknowledge what just happened, though, in real time.
And to clarify, I didn't Google him. I didn't Google him based on the transcript that you gave us. The transcript, because that's what that is. It says the impact of marriage on men, on how much men work. This is it says right here in the important information overview, transcript, context, right? This also says at the top that this is from a podcast. If you look closely at the top, there's the homepage, podcasts. Speaking of the economy.
God damn it, C. Dave.
Get to the podcast that you gave me. This little purple part right here. This part right here.
God
all
damn.
I did was click on the name. When you click on the name, this is him with the weird haircut. It tells you what he does, and then it tells you his academic publications. When you go down to his academic publications, let me go back.
God damn it.
All I had to do was scroll down. This is 1, incarceration and employment earnings. 2, Social Security reform with heterogeneous mortality. 3, an estimated structural model of entrepreneur behavior. 4, the wage penalty for married women of career interruptions, evidence from the 1970s and 1990s.
Hey, man.
That's based on the information you gave me. Now, granted, I could have gave you the information that I have.
No, your books is bullshit, BPG.
Okay.
And all your articles that you read are bullshit because you don't get it from podcasts. Okay? That's what C. Dave told us. Just so we clear. That's what he told me.
Want this. So I didn't use nothing new. I ain't heard of this man a day in my life. I only used what you gave me. I used the information that you gave me.
Yep. Ain't that something? Ed Patriarchy said, drop C. Dave. She put 20 on his head. That's 25. Teresa says, C. Dave is talking about paid labor. He's dishonest. Exactly. That's why I wanted to specify that. Because if we talk about unpaid labor, women work significantly more than men. If you add unpaid labor and paid labor on the job, women work more than men. Just so we're clear. Women on the job, paid labor, when men and women are both on the job, women work more than men on the job. They're more productive than men on the job. Then you talk about men and women at home. The trend does not stop at home. Same fucking thing. When it's unpaid and it's at home, women also work more than men. That's why I hate when men try to do the convenient, like, well, men work more hours and men do that. When you act, labor is labor is labor. Women work more than men. Women are more productive than men. Everybody knows that, except for idiots. Everybody knows that. Like literally, only idiots believe that men are more productive than women. I was in the live yesterday. If y'all was in that live, y'all literally heard a man crashing out. He couldn't believe this woman had 2 jobs. His mind was blown. This woman had 2 jobs in a business. He literally melted down. He couldn't understand it. He couldn't understand it. All she said was, I got 2 jobs and they both pay me over $100,000 a year. He was like, she was like, yeah, I had this job from I was in the military. I did this. I did that. I got my master's. I got a business and I got this job and I got that job and I do retreats. I don't do them every day. But I call Cap. That's all he had in the end. I call Cap. That's what women are more productive than men. Like they just are. Like I don't know what to fucking you know it. Your wife is more productive than you, C. Dave. You on here. Look, C. Dave. You're on here yapping with us daily. Your wife is writing books and getting degrees. Your wife is more productive than you. And you don't think women are more productive than men? It's happening in your own fucking house. You see it every day. You see that woman wake up and be more productive than you. This shit is crazy. Aquarius said, has anyone counted all the time C. Dave cars out to faithfully join Pubs Live and annoy everyone? Is his wife afforded that same leisure time? 5 on him. See, right on time. That's 30 on his head. Beverly said, I know plenty of women who can't get a good night's sleep beside their partner. Sleep divorce is real. Lack of sleep will shorten your life. Damn, sleep divorce. Shit. I'll let my wife move into another room, or I'll move into another room before before that. My wife has threatened me to move into another room before in our relationship. She was like, maybe we need different rooms. I was like, what? Absolutely not, ma'am. What do I need to check? What do I have to do? Beverly said, yes, the restaurant leftover nabbers. So true. I don't snore to my knowledge. Allie said, this why cases go unsolved because bitch ass nigga cops like C-Dave. Oh my God. All right, C-Dave. All right, man. We're gonna give you one more shot to be a human. I got faith. I really have faith in you. I think you're gonna be a human right now. Go ahead. The floor is yours. I ain't gonna say shit. You can say whatever you want to say. I'm gonna interrupt you.
Please don't interrupt.
I'm not. I swear to God, I'm gonna let you talk uninterrupted till you get done. Nobody else, hold on. Nobody else interrupt C-Dave either. Please let that man go. Go ahead, C-Dave. We listen.
So here's another lie that you said. You said that women work more on the job than men, and that's not true. Okay, men overwhelmingly work more hours at work than women do. Right, and I did agree to the fact that women do more of the household labor as far as household chores and like child rearing and all that good stuff. Right, but when you add up all the hours, right? When you add up all the hours, it is damn near equal with a slight edge to men. But I would say it's statistically equal, right? When you talk about what men do as far as the work hours compared to what they do at home and compared to what they do with the children, compared to what the women do on the same thing, men work is like 1 hour more. Okay, so we got that part down. Now, as far as the other part is concerned, yes, men do work, married men work more hours than single men, right? They work more hours because they have more at stake than the single man. They have more mouths to feed, more people to feed, and it also includes women who are stay-at-home moms who don't work. Those men are working more, right? They're working more shifts, more doubles, all of that good stuff. So men who are married work more, which is the entirety of my argument. Period. And every study suggests that.
You did not. Okay, but can you address what just happened with BBG? Because you ain't addressed that. That's all I've been waiting for.
Address what? It's true. Men work more. They work 20 to 30% more. I'm not going to deep delve. If she want to go and say she got it off a podcast, so be it. But the study.
She didn't get it off a podcast. You got it off a podcast.
Okay.
You didn't even get it off a podcast. You got it off of an excerpt from a podcast. So are you going to admit that you didn't know what the fuck you were talking about and you just did a cursory Google search like you always do?
But the study still.
But what study? You haven't read. How you going to say the study exists and you never read it? You never seen it for yourself. Lay eyes on it first and then say it exists. Can you do that?
Well, the issue here is that this man does not know the difference between an internet publication on a podcast and a study.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't know the difference.
Yellow chick, he does. He a lie. Don't do that. Don't do that. He's just lying. He knows. It's worse. I'm saying it's worse than he. It ain't that he don't know. He knows. He knows the difference. He just a fucking liar. That's the craziest part of this. Is like scary. Like the nigga just lying. He just literally just lying in front of all these people. For what reason, bro? Just admit it. You didn't know what the fuck you was talking about. BBG clocked your shit. The yellow chick started it when she asked you to fucking tell us what the parameters were for the damn study. You what's that? Oh, yeah, the limitation. Oh, what's that? You all that's what right there. I was like red flags. Man, BBG. Hey, y'all seen that? Y'all remember that picture of Dwayne Wade throwing that lob to LeBron? Yellow chick threw that nigga. Actually, she threw BBG the lob like this. BBG came.
Here's the funny part about it though. Even in my quote unquote podcast, they have the links from where he got his study.
Then read it. Then read it and tell us. Read it and then tell us.
Right here. Okay, cool. Let me click on the link. So this is
not with us on the live, bro. On your own dime.
That's what I'm telling you. It's right here. So again, she's talking about what the podcast on about. Click on the damn link and it'll show you where he got his study from, what he's talking about. He didn't just pull it out his ass. He got it.
What I just told you.
She literally just, he didn't listen to nothing you said, BPG. That's the craziest part about this. It is because it's you. Not because he was wrong. That's what it was.
Okay, cool. When you look at the actual study, what does the study say?
She ain't read it. She didn't.
Study don't say nothing because it's a transcript.
That's
the point.
Hey, look at that nigga missing that shot. Hold on. Hey, look how far the motherfucker ain't even come. Hey, that motherfucker ain't even hitting the rim. That shit is not gonna hit the rim, bro.
You know what's super funny about this?
That's a fucking brick.
The funniest part about this meme, this is my cousin's hood.
Ah, which one? Hold on.
Right here.
Is it one of them ones?
I ain't even mind.
Damn, that's crazy. That's another 7. Hold on. We got 37 on C. Davis here. C. Davis here. April Brown put 5 more, and Teresa said the author of the second shift is 85. Just so we.
At the door. Why do I keep doing that?
Hold on. I want to go to Tia, and then I need who to go. Go ahead, Tia.
Hey guys. I just came up to clarify because when I'm the one that posted about me about to lose my house type thing.
Yeah.
I own the house. I'm a disabled vet. I had the house before I met him.
Okay.
But when I met him and we got married and stuff like that, everything was all good in the beginning. And then he started losing jobs.
Why?
Losing jobs. So
why?
I had to go.
Why was he losing? Why was he losing jobs? If you don't mind me asking, what was he doing?
That's the thing. I really don't know what was really going on at the jobs because he was hiding a lot of things from me. So, I found out a couple of things after the fact. Like
what?
One of the jobs, it turned out that the last job he just lost, he wind up fighting somebody.
Sorry.
And I think that it might have been warranted, but he should have really considered I could lose my job. And I know my wife is not going to be cool with that because I've lost quite a few jobs or whatever the case may be. So I had refinanced this house. Well, the first time I refinanced this house, it was so I could get certain things in the house fixed, like the floors and things like that. So that was something I wanted to do. Yeah. The second time was last year. And it was because he lost a really, really good job.
Damn.
And it put me, financially, it put me in a bad way. And my mortgage is way higher than what it was when I first met him. And that was one of the reasons why I was saying that, because now I can't pay my mortgage in the beginning of the month. I have to pay it in the middle or towards the end of the month. And I'm sitting here tallying all my money like, how the fuck am I going to do this without losing my house? You know what I'm saying? And if Trump do that thing where us veterans can't get help, if we have any issues paying our houses, then I'm screwed. You know what I'm saying? So, and about me being married to him, unfortunately, I'm still married to him, but he left in February. And here in North Carolina, you have to be separated for a year and a day in order to get a divorce.
Oh, that's scary.
It is. It's extremely stressful.
That's scary.
I even had to block my husband. I deleted all social media except for TikTok or whatever because he was bullying me and stuff like that. And he was causing me a lot of mental stress because I'm already a disabled vet that struggles with PTSD. So what's tripping about that is like when C. Dave sit there and talk about the husbands make more money. Bullshit. If that was the situation, I wouldn't be stressed out right now.
But you gotta, but Tia, we gotta. But he talk them studies be for men in general. You know, we talk. Is your husband black?
Yes.
Yeah, we start talking about black men. We know that shit real. You know, we know a quarter of black women make more money than their mates and their spouses. So it's different for black men and black women in that regard, unfortunately. Yeah, right. When we talking about men in general, yeah, men make more money than women in the relationship. I mean, even then, black men make more money than black women in general.
I didn't get to meet one of those.
But it's more, but it's way more likely that a black woman makes more money than her husband than it, you know, than in any other demographic than like a white woman or a Latino woman or a Asian woman. So
yeah.
damn.
And one of the biggest things that pisses me off so wildly, because we've been together for 7 years. Next month would have been 4 years married. And I told him, hey, right now I can get because they my mortgage company called me and said that since the interest rates went down, that I could do another refinance just to bring down my interest rates.
But you got to stretch it out though.
No, it won't be to change how much I pay.
It'll literally just refinance. Yeah, can you do that?
Right, you can do that. Yeah, you can just refinance just for that to bring up and down interest rates. And I would also be able to pause me paying mortgage for 2 months. This bastard will not come so he can sign.
Oh,
because even though I own this house and I've owned it before I met him,
you still got to sign off because he your spouse. Yeah,
he has to sign, and he won't do that. But yet he gets mad at me because when he decided to do his taxes at the last minute, I won't give him my social security number. Fuck you, figure it out. Ain't my fault. I told you to do it before you left, and oh well.
Damn.
And you know, it stresses me out because he know that can help me, but I'm like, we've been together 7 years, and you treated me like you hate me.
Yeah, he does.
The reason why I kind of like, you know, disassociated with him, haven't let him touch me 3 months before he left. But that's not because I'm a mean person or I didn't want the marriage to work. I wanted it to work, but you were stressing me out because every time I turn around, money this, money that, all you want to do is drink and smoke. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. I did not sign up to be your other mother.
So you saying you didn't like, you weren't intimate with him for like 3 months before?
Yeah, I'm like, you ain't fucking touching me until you do right by me. I'm sorry.
Do you feel like do you feel like, because some men feel like if you withhold, you know, sex from a man, then
that is some sort of abuse.
Like,
I get it, because I was having this conversation with my stupid brother, and he said the same stupid shit. And I was like, why would I sit here and lay here and let this man touch me and feel uncomfortable, dirty, cry, whatever it is, because I feel miserable because he's not doing right by me. I'd rather, you know, it's about me. I'm sorry. I was at the point of, you know, disassociating myself. Yes, for a short time when he first left, I was crashing out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And you know, that's one of the reasons why I deleted social media, because I went on social media. I was posting stuff because I didn't have anybody at that moment to talk to. My therapist wasn't available at that time. So now he's trying to say that we getting a divorce because of something I posted on social media. No, nigga, you cheated on me.
Oh, he cheated on you?
Yeah, he cheated on me 2 years ago. And sadly, I tried to work on the marriage, and I said, you know what, maybe it was me. You know, I went through that phase of feeling like maybe it was my fault and stuff like that. And, you know, you financially abused me. You put stuff that's more important. Like the day that he left, we got in an argument because he said to me, he came in the room and said, hey, I paid the light bill. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he says, but why are they talking about we owe $600? And I was like, $600? I called. And when I heard how the, you know, like all of the payments that he was supposed to have made, $80 here, $80 there. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why you didn't tell me?
He hadn't paid it in a while.
No, he didn't pay the whole thing. He was paying bits and pieces. You know what I'm saying? Making it to where, had we not had this conversation, my lights would have got turned off. I could have been in a situation to where I would have had to pay $1,000 in order to put it back on. But it would have been left on me because he lost his job and didn't tell me again. So that's why he's back home where his family is. Now I'm finally getting through it, and I'm finally accepting everything. And he could do whatever he want. All I know is when February next year come, let's get this done. I don't want your name anymore. I want out. I'm done.
I'm rooting for you though. I'm rooting for you. Money Don't Sleep Sports. He said you was capping. I invited him up to get to the bottom of why he would think you would lie about this. Didn't sound like a lie to me.
Ain't no way I would try.
No, you know why I don't. You know why men when women say when women come up here or in general and they start telling their story, men say women be lying because men be lying. They be lying all the time. So you think everybody fucking lying. That ain't nothing that woman said sound like a lie. It all made sense. The shit the men be saying don't never fucking add up. You start asking them questions, the shit don't never make sense. But everything you said made sense. It all followed like a pattern and a trend, and you know what I mean? Like nigga, motherfuckers be irresponsible getting fired on their job. I can see that. He cheated. I can see that. He sound like a cheater. He sound dismissive. Like
there was even sometimes I couldn't even watch some of your lives because it's like you was hitting everything that I was going through, and I couldn't stop crying. I was in a bad way.
My fault.
Like it's not your fault. Like literally, I think my husband hates you too.
Oh, he probably does. Yeah,
I was playing some of your lives while he was listening, and some of them he was catching on a little bit, but others he would try to leave out of the room and stuff like that. And I felt like he understood. And even when we would have an argument, he would sit there, oh, you sitting here following this public offender guy. So you could validate yourself. I'm like, no, I'm trying to help us. I'm trying to help us because I want a man that have been through stuff with his marriage and he was able to, come out of that and do right by his wife. I want you to listen to a man that's not going to lie to you like these other panders on freaking social media that be lying to you. I thought that it'd help, but it didn't.
Nah, that shit don't. They don't. I mean, but look, if it helped you, it helped you. That's the most important thing. If it didn't, you know what I'm saying? If they don't want to learn or whatever the fuck, who cares? That's on them. But yeah, I appreciate that. But that was, yeah, I've heard that story many a times. The men's be mad. Look, see, they mad right now. That's why he don't, you know what I'm saying? He know the shit I be saying be right about that. You know everything we be saying about that nigga be spot on.
When do you work?
This is my job.
No, I'm talking about C. Dave.
Oh, C. Dave don't never work.
Because I was a cop in the military and I barely had time to be on shit like this.
Nah, C. Dave don't work. Nah.
Well, military and civilian life is vastly different.
Nigga, I was working 16 to 18-hour shifts, watching fits and guarding nuclear weapons. I don't know what you mean.
Nah, women don't know, Tia. That's a lie. I got a call cap on that. Women do not work that much, according to C. Dave.
There you go. I ain't no like that.
That is what you been saying, nigga.
I said women. No, I didn't say women don't work at all. I said men work more than women on the job. That's what I said. That's my whole
exactly. 16 to 18 hours. I call cap. That means the man was working what, 24 hours on the job?
I was when I was at
16 to 18 hours.
Me?
She literally just said I work 16 to 18 hours.
You just add shit. But yeah, military and civilian.
Anybody that's security forces. Ask anybody that's security forces.
Man, I was in the middle. Oh, Air Force don't work.
Air Force don't work. This nigga saying anything. Hey, he trying to have a military diaspora award, nigga. We do not care about that shit.
That's why they call it the Chair Force.
Shit, here you go.
That's all right though. We the smartest brain.
I was about to say, Tia, what you have to get on your ass back?
Oh, what I got on, I think it was 70. I can't remember what.
Whatever it was higher than what C. Dave got. I know that. C. Dave was spelling abacadabra, and that nigga, they still let him in. He was spelling abacadabra down the fucking ass, man.
You work. I promise you we do. That's why I'm fucked up now. I don't know what sleep is because of the Air Force.
Hold on, C-Day. C-Day, are we talking about quantity of work while at work or hours of work? Because I see you keep flip-flopping on that every time you feel like it comes to your advantage. We were talking about earlier, Pub said women work more when they're at work. Meaning that if I did 8 hours and you did 8 hours, chances are I did more shit in about 8 hours than you did. That's what we were talking about. You flip it to talk about hours of work. And that still doesn't even matter anyhow. Because let me tell you what, I'm gonna give you an anecdotal, right? I'm gonna be anecdotal right now, real quick.
All you've been giving is anecdotals, nigga.
We don't want no more anecdotes.
All we want is anecdote. Go ahead, yellow chick.
What are you talking about?
I said, I'm gonna give an anecdotal. That's what I said.
Oh,
So I had a dude come on my panel. He said he works 12 hours a day. He does 12-hour shifts, and his wife doesn't work. I said, okay, cool. And then I said, how many days off do you have? He said 2. I said, how many days off does your wife have? He said none. So at the end of the day, even in a situation where the man has a job and the woman doesn't have a job, she still has no days off. She's working 24. Listen, she's working
all day, every day.
Mm-hmm. She's working 14, 15 a day, and she's on call while asleep.
Damn. And women don't never get a break from the mental labor, because when you clock out of your job, you know what I'm saying? When people clock out from their job, most of the time they get to leave their work at work. When we talking about like labor, domestic labor, women don't never get a break. It never stops. It's all consuming. It's, you wake up, you thinking about the family, you think about your husband, you think about yourself. They get the kids school. You got to plan for this. You got to prep for that. You got and it's not, I'm not talking about the physical shit. I'm saying you just thinking about it. You got to think about it. Like what? Okay. And then the labor the mental labor, because it's labor. And that's the thing that's why the word labor is attached to it. It's labor. Like, I be sweating doing these lives. Like physically, I be physically sweaty after I get off of the, like I'm physically sweating after I get off of the lives, right? I used to physically sweat when I would be at work and I would be on my computer and shit like that. I'll be making calls or whatever. What'd you say?
No, I was talking to my son, but go ahead, finish your statement.
Yeah. I be physically sweating. I'm not physically, this is not a physically taxing job, right? But I'm sweating. So I'm burning calories somewhere. My body is burning, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason I'm sweating, and it's because my mind is working, right? So mental labor, the mental load, that burns calories, man. That's labor. Your body, and your body is tracking that shit. Your body is feeling that pressure and that stress, and it's keeping track of all of that shit. So I'm not understanding how we're getting, we disregard all of that shit that women do, right? And then we try to conveniently look at things that show that men work more, you know what I'm saying? And the only place men work more is paid labor. Like overall, right? Just the hours that you show up to work. So you clock in at 9 and you leave at 6 or whatever. Men work more hours, you know what I'm saying? Like those hours, right? At work, women are more productive, and women are more productive outside of work. That's all I was saying. And that was the whole point. That's the only point I wanted to make. Women are more productive than men are. Statistically, they're more productive than men are. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I don't understand what the fuck. So and the reason why you brought all of that shit up was because you were trying to make some point that men bring value because we bring financial stability to women. It's not true. We destabilize women financially. To BPG's point, when she cited her source, or she cited her study when she first came up here, we do not add, men don't add value to women's lives. We don't. That's just, hey, you don't like it, change it. You don't like it? Go ahead, BBG.
They're doing more at work. They are doing and a lot of what the game is, and he being very intentional with saying men are working more hours specifically. That's specific to the manipulation, because if you look at what women are doing, like you said, they are doing more work at work. Even if they're working, if he's working 10 hours and she's working 8 hours, she's still done 10 hours worth of work, because she's usually doing the task of 3 or 4 people, as opposed to him literally just doing his one job. Mm-hmm. And he's still more likely to get a promotion based solely on maleness. It doesn't even have anything to do with his skill level. And because he's married, he actually he'll get favored. He gets paid more, but he also it gives him the ability to get more hours because of how society views men who are married. Like, he gets more opportunities from being married, and she loses them at the same exact time. And especially
wait, BBG, you reminded me of something right now. Also, men love work. Married men love working overtime, and not because they want to provide for their family, but because they don't want to go home and do the labor at home.
They like that work girlfriend.
That's the thing.
They miss that lady at work.
That's the thing. That is a known thing.
But the last thing is like when you look at who's doing the unpaid work, with the world's population, you can break that down to city, state, country, whatever you want to. 75% of unpaid labor is women.
75%?
75% of unpaid work is done by women. There's a quote that says, "There's no such thing as a woman who doesn't work. There's only a woman who isn't paid for her work." Because she's working somewhere. Even if from the time that she's maybe about 5 or 6, from girlhood into, the time she leaves this earth, she is taking care of someone somewhere at some point, quite literally all the time. And the only reason why that work doesn't have a level of validity is because of the fact that she's a woman. If men were doing these jobs,
we'd be paid
for sure. Yeah, those jobs would be high-paying jobs. Those jobs would be very, extensive jobs because even when we talked about women being the first computers, those jobs initially didn't pay well. Those jobs did not pay well. They weren't considered, the highfalutin, if you will, like my big mom used to say. They weren't the highfalutin jobs that everybody was so impressed with because it was a need base and women were working the computers because the men weren't around. But once they actually figured it out and they started enhancing computers, doing extensive calculations, that is when men wanted to pick it up because they noticed that this was actually brilliant. Like this was real genius. But because they didn't want to attribute that genius to women, they did was they snatched it from under them and they took it and they tried to teach men to do it. But even that advancement ended up screwing us all over because the men couldn't keep up with the calculations. So they had to dumb down.
It was a learning curve that stifled everything, and it took a while for men to catch up to it. The
learning curve was sharp and pointed like the edge of a square.
Yep.
It was. And they tried to dumb it down in order for men to be able to keep up with the pace, and they still didn't. And honestly, who even knows? We might be living like the doggone Jetsons if
we could be having flying cars now.
Legit, and a lot of that bias, and honestly, we do see it on these lives. Truthfully, we see it in real time. You will see just about all of the women come up here with and substantiate their claim by using by citing their sources, citing the author. I do it literally all the time. Every single time I do it, there's always some man, not just ceasefire run. There are plenty of men who I have conversations with on a consistent basis, who every time I ask them to substantiate their claim, to actually go back and because if you give me an article, I'm gonna go back and read it.
Me too.
To actually go back and read it. They can't substantiate their claim because it's usually based on a Google search. They have not read it because they just want to read the argument. They just want to win the argument, and they don't actually know what it is they are talking about. But because of the fact that the majority of men sincerely believe that they are smarter than most people, and particularly smarter than most women, they would rather admit that maybe they just didn't find the right article, or maybe I just read it wrong or whatever, as opposed to just being able to admit defeat.
That Dunning-Kruger effect be having niggas in the that shit be having you in the headlock. Man, it be having us locked. We be locked in. Valley said that nigga didn't even want to make it. Oh my God. Ashley said, C. Diddy would cut the lights and water off over the ass. He would, being petty. Talking about, you don't want to give me no ass. I guess I'm gonna cut the lights off. It's the same as you withholding sex. Allie said, I listened to you too on speaker when I left that baldy. Allie said she listened to me on speaker when she was leaving her ex. Damn. Hey, whatever floats your boat. Sandra said, Salam, I am new to your channel and have been binge watching since March 1st. All I can say is you have the patience of Job. Bravo to you, young brother. I appreciate you, Sandra. Appreciate that, Sandra. Go ahead Donato, go ahead, Donato.
Oh, I just wrote in the chat, why are men so allergic to knowledge? I see this happen exactly what BPG said. And every live that I've ever been at, when we bring facts and statistics, they literally will say to our face, no, you're wrong. But they have no knowledge, or they come up and they expect women to do the labor and teach them about things that they have no clue about.
That they don't want to know about.
Us when we say that we're not doing free labor for them, that they can go on their own and do the research. And then they say, no, I want you to do it for me. Or they just, it's a sense of entitlement that they feel like their voice needs to be heard when they are not knowledgeable on the subjects being discussed. And I don't know why you would insert yourself in a conversation that you're ignorant on. Like, that makes no sense to me.
They do it
intentionally. I was going
intentionally.
to say what men do add a lot of times is trauma and intergenerational trauma, especially when women find out that men are living double, triple lives. It seems like men don't change. They just change partners and they keep doing the same trauma to other women.
Fuck. We don't change. We just change partners.
As soon as a woman figures it out, they're not going to make any changes. They don't want to have to be held accountable.
Yep.
They don't want to deal with their own. They don't want to deal with their own shame and their own issues. They never want to go to therapy, because I've suggested that to many men when I realize that things aren't going well in their life. They want you to be their free therapist. If you suggest a therapist, then they say, "Men, I don't need that."
Or they go, "Oh, do I?"
Solve their problems.
And
it actually takes years off of women's lives when they are in marriages with men. Men's lives increase when they're married. Women's lives decrease.
Yep. Oh.
It's not a lie. See, David, you've already proven that you are one of the uneducated men that come up here constantly, not knowing what the fuck you're talking about. And you're a police officer too?
You're a police officer? Yes. So again, women's lives.
Yeah, you're part of one of the worst demographics.
I know. Thank you. I appreciate it. Women's lives
Police have some of the highest rates of DV and SA, or any occupation, police and military. You said you're military too?
Oh yeah, no, that's a double whammy.
That's good. Okay, great stat. So again,
no, and then what's the repercussions? Because I know police that are very corrupt and who have assaulted women. And I asked a police officer, who do we report the police to? You want to know what I was told?
Who?
Reported to his partner.
Okay. Yeah,
why the fuck would I do that?
Reported to his partner.
Why would I think that his partner would hold him accountable? Who are the higher ups?
Okay, report to his
partner. That you're supposed to report to that would hold them accountable. Why would I report someone to their friend?
Don't tell the judge or
that's the protocol for police. You have to go make an appointment to be a judge.
Okay.
So why don't you tell us what the actual protocol is?
Hold on, wait, let him finish. Go ahead, C-Day.
Thank you. So again, another lie, right? Women's lives do not decrease when they get married. That is a lie. And this is the problem.
Life expectancy decreases. That is a fact.
It's not.
Single women live longer.
That is not true. That is not true on nobody's study. Right?
You know what I noticed you did not like that one?
Can I finish?
Hold on.
Don't call me a liar when you're not coming in here with facts.
You're lying.
Don't call me a liar when you're not coming in here with facts.
I'm going to call you a liar when you lie. So again, women's life expectancy when they are married increases. It increases to 1.2 years or 2 years longer. Men's life expectancy increased from 1.9 to 2.4. So again, women's life expectancy when they are married increases. It doesn't decrease. That's another lie that you guys like to perpetuate. Now, you're talking about holding accountable and learning some truth. When you look that up and you go back and read it and you see that it's true, you can actually come back and say, you know what, I was wrong, and y'all can stop perpetuating.
See, Dave, we're still waiting for you to do that for BPV and yellows.
I already did it. The study was...
You know you haven't. Not once have you ever said, I'm wrong. I've never heard those words come out of your mouth.
You have no impulse control. You can't even control yourself to be quiet for more than 2 seconds when somebody else is talking.
Hey, we gotta
Can I jump in here real quick, C-Dave? Since
I ain't even finished. But okay.
Yeah, let's see Dave. I want to see Dave to land his plane, y'all. We gotta let that man land. Go ahead, see Dave.
I landed. It's good. All I want to say is that part was a lie. I ain't get the chance to do other stuff, but that part's a lie.
Okay, go ahead, yellow shit.
So let me say one statement and one question. Statement number one is, let's not discount that men still use weaponized incompetence at work.
Yep.
They're like, work bestie, work wife. Can you do this Excel spreadsheet for me, because I really don't know how to put the function in. Can I email it to you and you set it up for me and send it back to me? There's a lot of that shit that goes on inside of work. Men weaponize incompetence at work as well as at home, and that's why they even use like emotional warfare and be like, oh, that's my work wife or whatever, literally so that he can use you for labor at work. So women end up doing more work at work because they do all of their job plus half of yours. That's one. Number two is this, and this is very specific to Black men, and I'm going to ask this question. If y'all are doing 30 to 40% more hours than we are, how come you're only making $33 a week more?
Well, first of all, that's not what I said. I said you work in 30 to 40% more hours than a single man, not more than women.
Okay, how much more are you working than women?
This is what we're talking about, huh?
How much more are you working than women? Because you made it seem like y'all did more work hours than women.
No, I did make it seem like that. You made it seem like that. I was very clear what I did.
You want to resolve? So you want to go ahead and
you're so busy trying to you want to say that you don't even listen.
Why are you talking over her, C-Dave?
Because I was talking. She made a point.
I was in my point, right? So are you ready to reconcile that men and women do the same amount of work hours?
But that's not true either.
So you're saying that men do more work hours?
Men work more hours. You talking about on the job? Men work more hours on the job, yes.
Then why are Black men only making $33 a week more?
I don't know.
I mean, you're doing all these hours more. How's it only coming out to $33 a week?
Because of the jobs that they're doing. It has nothing to do with the amount of hours that they work.
That's like a cheeseburger at Fridays with a drink that's non-alcoholic.
Right, okay. So are you saying that, what are you saying, that women work more than men? Is that more?
I'm saying I don't believe you, that's all.
Of course you don't. I can tell you the sky is blue and you wouldn't believe me because you have a disdain light. So the point
right now.
The point that I was making was
this would help. What would help right now is if the information that was given, especially information that was given earlier about how often men are working more hours, a study would tell you, research would tell you, peer-reviewed research would tell you that what that man is doing during that time. If he's working all of these hours, it would explain how much more money he's making, what he is doing while he is making more money, and it's not going to get specific. He's, wiping tables, blah, blah, blah. But it would break down where those numbers come from. But I think that this is because you did say that you, admitted to being wrong or admitted defeat or whatever it was. You didn't. By the way. But also, that wasn't a study. Stop saying that was a study. That was a study from a podcast.
Was the study?
That was a transcript. No, that was a transcript from a podcast. That was a transcript from a podcast. That's what that was. It wasn't a study. It was a conversation.
When I'm asking BPG, okay, yes, it was a transcript from a podcast. Did he cite the study inside of that?
That's not how transcripts work.
But the study is there.
It's not.
Give us the information.
It's not. It's not. The only thing that it has related links, which is conversations that are similar to this conversation. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it does not have the link on here. It doesn't at all. It has the topics, and then it has contact us in the research department. Now, what I was able to find was a link to his other articles. And then he had a survey about youth. But the part where you were talking about, no.
Now, PPG, please do tell me, because you're more educated on this than I am. Is it not required for a study to have a limitation section?
Most studies, now most peer review studies for sure, you have to have, because you have to cite your sources. Like that's, you know what I mean? That's basic. You know what I mean? Anybody knows that. That ain't even, that's not even based on level of intelligence or anything like that. Cause I don't like you saying that. But yeah, no, that is supposed to be included in the information, but that's included in information like journals. Peer-reviewed research is peer-reviewed for a reason. And what's happening is you have a board of people who are literally looking at your paper and trying to figure out where you're getting this information from. And they pretty much analyzing the whole thing. The reason why this is not a valuable source, and you can ask your wife this because she in school. She actually educated herself. The reason why this wouldn't be a credible source is because of the fact that this is not the actual article. This is just the conversation. You would have to go to where he has his academic journals posted, read through that, and then be able to make the assessment of what it is he was trying to say within the conversation. But this conversation by itself, the podcast by itself, doesn't actually prove what he thinks it's proving.
And one of the reasons we know we cannot believe these podcasters and the percentages that they threw out, one of these podcasters ran out here and said 80% of women are attracted to the same 20% of men. And then you find out that came from Bumble or OkCupid, one of those two dating sites. They literally use what people swipe on, what women swipe on. So I recreated this one day and I went and I made a dating profile, and literally the men would not choose over 90% of the men that came up when we did it.
Exactly. Men have no standards. That's the issue.
It's actually wow.
I've done a study on the dating apps just to see it from the men's perspective because I know that they pay for dating apps. So I paid to see all of my matches. Guess how indiscriminate men are? Guess how many matches I would have had?
How many?
8,000. What woman wants to swipe through 8,000 trash profiles with no bio, shirtless, dirty mirror pictures, fish photo? Like, they don't even present themselves in a way that women like, but then they want to blame it on, oh, it's the top 20. No, it's that you guys are not even making yourself attractive to women. That's why you're getting swipe left. You don't know how to present yourself. You don't know how to take a decent picture. You don't know how to write a bio. That's the real reason why they're getting rejected. It's not because they're not 6 feet, 6 figures, 6 inches. But they want to blame that for their shortcomings.
This is coming from podcasts.
Yeah, all they listen to is podcast bros. Like, honestly, when I look at the profiles, because whenever I've gone on dates with men, I interviewed them as well. So I let them see all my potential matches and have the men choose what profile do they think is good. And guess what type of profiles they pick? Guys literally doing like push-ups, gym bros. You just see their back. You don't even see their face. Like, they pick profiles that are cool to other men. Why would you present yourself in a way that is attractive to men if you're trying to attract women? Like, it's literally counterintuitive.
Because they like men.
Exactly. They care more about male validation is what it is.
They love the men's. And that's good for them, man. I love that for them. But hey, y'all, I'm about to go.
My brain hurt.
I got it. I got to go, man. Hold on. We did it. We did 2 hours and 40 minutes today. I'll be back on next Sunday, though. Shout out to everybody that joined the panel. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got me once a week, man. We're going to start the week off right. Every Sunday.
Nice evening.
Hey, they was calling you Chat BPG. Nigga, I was crying.
You haven't had a single intelligent man come up, that's for sure.
It's tough.
That's funny coming from a woman who doesn't know how to read stats. Like, to call somebody stupid and be blatantly wrong is crazy.
Why are you? Well, I wasn't.
You didn't even know what.
So why are you inserting yourself in this conversation? I was giving BPG props for coming in with.
That's why he was mad. He was mad because you were giving me props.
Exactly, because she's smart.
Because they call her Chat BPG.
It's a reality and it's a fact.
BPG don't.
You read more information from your own sources.
BPG.
Hold on, wait.
Is her stat correct? The women's lives decrease according to studies.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and that's why you can't trust them. BPG says either.
All right. See, period. We good, man. We got you.
Everyone in the chat knows their life.
Your wife about me.
All right. Stop it. We did it, Joe. Hey man, shout out to the super chatters, man. The tappers, yappers, the super chatters. Shout out to the shout out to all the best minds in the business. Everybody that joined the panel. Yeah, man. Is you not entertained? Man, the cash up one time on the way out. Y'all know what it is. Keep the live alive, man. I've been telling y'all to keep the live alive. We're gonna call him C. Deary. Why once a week? Because TikTok, I don't want to guess. TikTok they don't, it's too much. It's too much. There's many reasons, but TikTok is crazy. No, I don't go live on YouTube. I go live on both simultaneously. So I might go live on YouTube. I might start going live on YouTube in the future, but like just, you know what I'm saying? Like like just go live on YouTube too. When I figure it out. I got to figure it out. I don't know. We got to figure out how to get I got to get the means to come up there. You know what I'm saying? But TikTok is it's too much. It's too much, and it don't, you know what I'm saying? The juice ain't worth the squeeze right now, man. But I love y'all though. That's why I come through. That's why you know what I'm saying? I definitely want to come through at least once a week, but I ain't, you know, it's wild. It's wild over here. It's wild over here. No, I love y'all, man, for real. Twice a week. We not negotiating, nigga. What the fuck? At least twice a week. We're not negotiating. We got Sundays. That's what I got. That's what I got. I got Sunday for you. Mm-hmm. Plus, I'm moving. We've been house hunting and stuff. So, yeah. But we'll figure it out though. But hey, stalkers keep stalking. I love the stalkers, man. They've been stalking a lot. The stalking is on a new different. You know what's crazy? I stopped going live daily, and the stalking increased. I was like, what the hell? Thanks, Crystal. I missed y'all. Boy, I'm saying, make it enough. Y'all gonna be all right, man. I know y'all figure it out. Some other dude to come up here. You know what I'm saying? They can start hating him. The stalkers can start stalking him. I don't know, man. Front porch. I make about an hour and 50 minutes worth of content every day. I'm sorry. That's tough. Some days I'll be up to like 2 hours, but you got to think it's double the time. So whatever time you see, it's at least double the time for me to edit the videos. At least. Sometimes the video, shit, man. One day I made a 12-minute video. That shit took me like an hour and 20 minutes to edit a 12-minute video. Oh, man. I was so frustrated. And then y'all ain't even watch the shit. It only got like a few thousand views. I was like, see? No, I love to do it, though. It's all good. It's tough. It's tough. I try to. A podcast, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't have the time, y'all. I don't have the time. I don't have the time, man. The videos is consuming. Like, I be like, it's shit like clocking in. I do more work making videos than I've ever done on any job because I'm doing it all. Like, I'm working the whole time. I don't, you know what I mean? Like when I'll be at work, I'll be talking to you know what I mean? You get up and talk to your manager, you get up, talk to your coworkers, you go dick off in the back for an hour, walk around 30 minutes, you take an hour long. Like I don't do none of that shit. Like I wake up, I drop my kids off at school. I start at 9. I go pick them up. I'll be working from 9 to 2. I go pick them up. I bring them back home. I eat lunch. I go back to work at 3 and I don't get done until 7 o'clock. That shit is crazy. I'm like, And I'm, yeah, that shit is crazy. So, yeah, man. It is what it is, though. But Sundays, I'm here, though. I got y'all. I got y'all on Sundays. And I'll try to make more videos on TikTok, too, just because, even though TikTok be pissing me off. TikTok really killed my live. I ain't gonna even hold y'all. That's what happened. TikTok killed the live. So, just so we know, TikTok really just wasn't nice. TikTok ain't nice to me on the live shit. That's all it is. Thank you. Yeah, the tide is changing. But TikTok just made it not even... It like messed it up. I was like, damn, man, it was fun. We had a good thing going here. I loved it. They came and played in our face. Bands, all types of stuff. Throttling. Thanks, progressive gal. I'm progressive too. I'm definitely a progressive. I might be a little bit more than a progressive, but I'm progressive though. I think I'm more extreme, but progressive is the best way to describe me. Well, it's safe to say progressive on the internet. I'm progressive. It's a scheme that Ty set up for real, Shawnee. Whoever put it in motion, man, they got me. Now it was YouTube, it was TikTok though, because after they came back from the ban, after it got banned or whatever, and the algorithm switched, I talked to a bunch of creators and they was like, yeah, that shit crazy. I was like, yep, it was wild. So, and it's like it's only so much you could do or say, or you know what I mean? Nah, Meta is ass. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hell no. Stay off of Meta. If you are a content creator, Meta is a waste of time. That shit is for fun. Meta is for fun. That shit ain't for nothing else. Oh, TikTok is Meta now? They ain't sold it yet, as far as to my knowledge. Oh, it is Meta? They did sell it? Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know it was official. Because people have been saying it's still going to get banned, so. That's crazy. Behaviorally is Meta. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's how it does function closer to Meta. Twitch, maybe. It's not. They were saying it functions like Meta, but yeah, I'll probably jump on there. Nah, I didn't eat no kids. I don't think we got no kid snacks right now. Kick is good. Hey, you still in TikTok, Jay? What you do? But yeah, I'm about to get on though, y'all. Go chill up with my family. Y'all go check out the videos. Go follow the page though, YouTube, on the YouTube, Public Offender 100, man. Appreciate y'all. We out of here.